Hello, everybody. Welcome back to round two. Glad to see y'all coming back in. Sorry I had to take a little breather. I had to be honest, I had to go get a little something to eat. Take a little, you know, potty break and just clean up some of my mess I'd made earlier. It's kind of weighing on me. I hadn't cleaned it up yet, so I figured I better get all that done real quick, or I wouldn't get it done until morning, then I'd regret it. Larry P, how you doing? Eric, Anna, Fred, Carol Z, Ms. Blue Moon, good to see you. Gigi, good to see you. I put it at the first person to chat in here was me. I put it in there. I'm going to be a little selective who comes in this way. Uh, Not bad, but a little. Just keep out, in case we get any riffraff trying to jump in here. It's Friday night, and we all seen what happened the other night. So, John, good to see you again. John, the link is I did not pin it to the top. I guess I could. I'm just going to warn everybody now. I'm going to be very selective who I let come up because, like I said, I just don't want no riffraff in here tonight. Not this late. Gigi, if you want to come up, get on up here. You know you're always welcome. Here, I'll go pin it. Damn it. All right, hang on, guys. Give me a second. Won't take me but a minute. I hope. It should be pinned. John, Gigi. Uh, I know I got to save room for one if she shows up, so I want her to jump up in here because I need to get her information again because I cannot find it anywhere. Like I said, I don't care who jumps up in here, just as long as there's no riffraff. Okay, John, anytime. Hey, Carol Z, good to see you again. Like I said, I just didn't want to leave everybody hanging. I felt like I was leaving. Hey, kiss off. Felt like I was leaving everybody. What? Felt like I was going to leave them hanging. Canadian Patriot, would you please jump up here? I need to get your information again. Please. Uh, I need to get it because I cannot find yours anywhere. I do not know what happened to it. So if you can jump up here and drop it in private so I can shoot it over to Red. And I'll put it on the phone as we speak. Yeah, you was the one I was waiting. I was going to save a spot for no matter what. I was hoping you get in here early enough that you could be the first one and we get that out of the way and no one else can get it. I won't let anybody up here until I get it. So, you know, if you're up here. Okay, John, I appreciate that. I'll see about getting that. Yeah, if anybody's got any questions about what goes on in the chat, hit Red up. She'll send you in the direction you need to go. Anyway, Brenda, if you'll jump up here real quick, please. Crystal, hello. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody in chat.
There she is. Hey, Brenda.
Hey, Shane.
I cannot find your information to save my life.
I can barely hear you, and I don't know why. Hang on.
All right.
Check my audio here.
Mine should be up all the way. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
She checked the wrong volume button.
Well, Chuck have to end up go doing something?
He was going to take a nap, and he said in a couple hours. I thought, GG. Yeah, he said he was going to take a nap. Maybe in a couple hours he'd come up, and I thought, I just shot him a text, said, hey, I'm going to go on until I shot him a text, said, I'm going to go back on until I hear from you, and then I'll drop and let you have it. Anyway, Brenda, can you hear me now?
Yep, better than I could before.
Okay, good.
I don't know if I kicked myself out before I was swearing, but you wouldn't believe what I've been going through with my phone.
Oh, I bet. Anyway, if you will drop your cell phone number in the private chat for me.
It's already done, Shane.
Okay, awesome. And then I will write it down and I will shoot it to Red as we speak. Oh, that's your email and your phone. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And see, Jay and Tina were I texted them, they got it no problem. But when they tried to text me, it said that there was a message blocker.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And so I told you I have like literally no cell service as far as phone. I have one bar or no bars. So I either have to use Signal to make a call, or if I have one bar, it doesn't usually last for long.
Right.
But anyways, so I went through the chat on my service providers thing, and I waited, there's X number of people ahead of you, blah, 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 blah. Well, I got kicked out 4 separate times from my own provider's thing. And I've been fighting with them over this for over a month and a half. First, they said, oh, you need a new SIM card. Your SIM card's too old. And I said, no. Okay, so they sent me a new SIM card. Didn't fix the thing. So I was on the phone with them again 3 weeks ago, and they said, oh, we found a problem on the network. It'll take 4 to 48 hours to repair. That's 3.5 weeks ago. So then I finally got to an agent, and I got kicked out of that chat too. But I managed to talk to him long enough that he did a network scan to say that there was still an error on the network. And it would take 4 to 48 hours. And by this time, I was just about ripping my head off because this is what they told me 3.5 weeks ago. And then I got cut off. And then I got to another agent, and she made me go through the whole thing all over again. And before we got finished, the chat got cut off again. And then I had to start all over again. So that's why I disappeared out of chat. And that's what I was going through while I was gone. It was trying to deal with this crap with my phone.
That's got to be aggravating.
I know that's right.
Uh-oh. Am I roboting or you're roboting?
Who, me?
Must be me.
Okay.
Hang on.
I know how to keep a cat busy for hours. Give him a box.
You can do the same thing with a child.
Yeah. Do y'all have Aldi's where you are?
Huh?
Do y'all have an Aldi's where you live?
No.
Okay, well, when you go grocery shopping there, you either got to have your own bags or you can grab boxes and put your stuff in to take it out. Or you
Okay.
got to pay so much for a bag of theirs. And so I had to use boxes to bring some stuff home. So I've just thrown them on the floor and let them play with it.
There you go.
Don't know how long I was roboting for. Sorry about that.
You're all good. It happens.
So
Welcome
the
to the
entire
World Wide
the entire time I was gone was dealing with the service provider and keep getting cutting off from their chat on their network.
Web. Imagine that.
So about the only way I can make a phone call right now is using Signal. And I can text, but apparently from what they told me, the message blocker has to be on the provider in the US because they were able to receive my text, but when they tried to text back, it said message blocker. So it's got to be with their provider has stopped them from texting to Canada.
Right.
Because I have like an unlimited North American text plan. I can text anywhere in Canada and the US for nothing. But their side must have a message blocker on stopping them from texting to Canada.
Who's your provider?
Virgin Mobile.
Oh, I got Boost. I've had Boost for 5 years, and they're really good.
Oh, we don't have any of those providers up here. They're all what do you call it? A monopoly of Canadian
Hmm.
providers.
Hey, David.
Hey, David. How are you? Good to see you. All right, Red. You should receive it in your text.
Hey, David, calm down, dude.
Yeah.
David, I thought that video for sure was going to get pulled down for that Bob Joyce video that we played the other night, but the video's still there.
Uh, Back over to the Philippines again, it looks like. Hang on. Hello. Yes, sir. Did you get your translator hooked up?
So we're down to 3 puppies now.
Nice.
What is this? What's going on?
Uh, he called in a couple nights ago and had a sign up that he had printed off, and he was trying to get diapers for the baby or something for his wife or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So how was your day, Shane?
it wasn't bad.
So you'll need to text me and see whether you have the same issue as Jay and Tina.
What do you mean?
Because when I texted them, they got the message no problem.
Right.
But when they tried to text me back, they got a message blocker.
Yeah. I think they texted that to me. Somebody did anyway. Yeah, it must have been Jay.
Because Travis can text me no problem. And like Lisa and Deanna and all them, they can text me no problem.
Well, I got an international calling on mine, so I can. Because I used to do a lot of work down in Mexico with truckers, and the
Yeah.
trucking down there. I used to sell a lot of pipe down into Mexico and cable for the apple orchards.
Yeah.
And so,
No, I would never buy an iPhone product.
no, me neither.
Never in my life have I owned an iPhone product or Apple product of any kind.
Get this. When I went into Verizon this last time, my phone was the time before last. My phone was jacked up. I needed a new one, but I loved my Droid. And it was one of those, what they called a phablet. It was a
Yeah.
phone and tablet all in one. It was really wide. It barely fit in my back pocket. Luckily, I had big back pockets. And I said, well, what about an iPhone? And the manager, the owner, says, no, they are not user friendly. And I've seen a lot of problems. And then I seen they was going down and quitting every year because of the way they was built, and that was intentional. I thought, no, I'll stick with my Droid. I've been sticking with Droids ever since. They all work identical, no matter. My favorite's LG. This one's a Motorola, but it works identical, so I'm okay with it.
I don't like my iPhone. I'd rather have an Android, but for some reason, the Android costs more than what the iPhone did.
You must have got a rework phone then.
Um, I mean, it works good, but it sets up totally different than what that one is. I had to have somebody help me set this one up, and my cousin told me the other day because I told her I don't know if I like it. She says, "Well, if you ever get used to it and get to know all about, do all the things," she said, "you'll fall in love with it." So I
Yeah,
don't know.
and I've heard that too. Once you get used to them, the iPhones, people love them. Man, I just didn't have the patience to play with one. Gerald Cummings, hello. Sorry I
I don't,
missed you.
I don't care about all the stuff on there. I only use it if I need to call my best friend, my cousin, stuff like that. I don't even go on Facebook too much unless I go message, one of my family members or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and open you guys up on my computer so I can hear you better.
Okay.
Because for some reason, today is
Oh.
not a good today's not a good day for my phone.
Uh-huh.
And I'd prefer not throwing it at the wall. So
Yeah, 'cause then you just have to replace it, spend money you don't have.
yeah, exactly. Because right now I'm trying to raise money just to get out of this nightmare.
Yeah. Hello, D-Dog.
Hope you have fun at the fair.
Dude, what?
Didn't you go to the fair today?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Didn't D-Dog go to the fair today?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I was asking him how'd it go?
Well, Red was able to get through, so that's awesome. I
Good.
just have to get to YouTube.
Jerry Lee, hello again. Yeah, sorry, guys. I just had to jump out and I had to take care of some stuff because it was going to bug me if I didn't.
D-Dog, I gotta tell you, your mom is such a sweetheart, and your sister too. But your mom is a real sweetheart.
Yep. I bet he don't make her mad, though. She'll probably light into him like nobody's business.
I bet you she's a very wise woman. 'Cause D-Dog is a very wise man.
For everybody. Yep. Well, Canadian Patriots up on her YouTube, but sound like she's got a. It's still on. So.
And I'm roboting again.
I bet you're wrong, Shane. Okay. Okay. I know my mom. She's like your mom, most lovable person you meet. But boy, she ain't scared to light into me. Tell me how the cow ate the cake and all that. I mean, she'll tell you.
I know my mom used to beat our butts, but if we done something really bad, Mom gonna get us, and when Daddy gets home, he gonna get us.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No, I still haven't. Like I said, last time I was asked that question, I was on here, which was just 4 hours ago, I guess. And now I'm asked again. No, I only dropped out for just a little bit. I'll get to it. Don't worry. I will get to it. I'll try to make that my first thing when I turn on the computer tomorrow. That's the first thing I look at. D-Dog, if you want to pop up here and share some of your videos from your fair, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, they're fixing to have a fair in Baker County up here in Florida. I just don't care about going. I can't ride nothing because I got vertigo and make me sick.
Usually when I go to the fairs, I go look at the exhibits, whether it be livestock or, arts and crafts or promotional stuff, banks or something, somebody silly's putting out. I just go look at it. And every once in a while, I'll eat some food I ain't had since the last fair. And that's about it. Get to see a lot of people. Then they'll have, stuff out going on in the rodeo arena that's always fun to watch.
I'll do this because there's too many people. I tell my best friend, because she's probably going, look, bring this, this, and this back. I'll give you the money. Just bring it back to me when you get back.
Yeah. Well, D-Dog, she looks like she's in really good health for being 29 with 61 years of practice. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, you can find a lot of pretty cool food at some of them. Sometimes it ain't worth buying, and it's always 10 times as much as it should be anyway. But man, you can get some good barbecue and stuff like that. Get it figured out, Brenda? Brenda?
Yes, sir. Is that better?
Yeah. Did you get it figured out? Yeah. Is it better for you? Can you hear us? That's exactly what people need to do. Get on some natural remedies. They work 10 times better than meds anyway.
I'll be right back, Shane.
Okay. Brenda, can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Okay. Okay. You on your laptop?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't hear you on my phone, and with everything that had gone on today, I just thought I'd just leave it alone and use it just to watch the chat go by.
Right, right. Yeah, my phone, it don't get very loud. That's one thing. You know, them iPhones, they'll get so loud you don't have to have it up to even close to you.
Yeah.
Mine, I can put it on speaker and still almost have to hold it to my ear if I've got my air conditioner running.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it's been like that since day one when I got it.
Who you got your was that your mom? You got down to 2 medications from 16?
Yeah, that's what he said. D-Dog's got his mom down to that.
That's really good.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it's like the stuff that you found for your brother, right? And
Yep.
then I found some stuff which is also for diabetes, and it's like a blueberry tea that you make just with blueberries and water, but there's a specific way that X number of days that you have to stew the blueberries and stuff.
Right.
And then I think you boil them, and then you make it into a tea and you put it in the fridge. But it's supposed to lower blood sugar as well.
Huh. Yeah, he's been, hell, he can eat pretty much anything he wants.
And that's the thing. You just research and you find the natural stuff, right? Because that's the whole reason that I couldn't do I wouldn't have anyways, because I don't believe in that stuff, but my body reacts really badly to pharmaceuticals and like just ordinary pharmaceuticals. So I knew if I'd have gone the way they wanted, I wouldn't even have made it. They told me I had 2 months, and I wouldn't even have made it 2 months
Uh,
if I'd have taken the chemo and the radiation and everything. So I came home and I started and researching all natural stuff with my one of my good friends uptown owns a wellness center, and I've known her for 20 years, and she's been in the business for 30. And that's what we did. We just started working on natural stuff, and 3.75 3 and 3/4 years later, I'm still here, and they told me I'd be gone in 2 months if I didn't do it their way.
yeah, well,
I'm doing it God's way.
another good old scare tactic.
Yeah, so that they can get more of their poison into you.
They got the cure anyway. They just make too much money off of it.
Oh, they've got a bunch of them, Crystal. I mean, they've got a bunch of them. There's one guy's been fighting in court for 20 years, taking in patients that he's completely repaired, if we'll say, rather than using the other word.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gone in and given testimonies that they've been completely repaired. And all it was is he discovered a peptide that was missing
Mm-hmm.
in people with cancer, and he started delivering that peptide, and all the tumors were gone.
I'm gonna say this, Brenda. You got a pen right beside you?
Pen, I do, sir. I think I do. Yeah.
Something to write on?
I will have in a minute.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm working on it. I got my clipboard. Just need to get something to write on. Actually, Tina, see behind the computer? See that notebook? Can you get that for me? Yes, sir. I can get that. Thank you.
Nickel.
Mercy buckets. Alrighty. I got a pen and a
All right.
paper.
Write this down.
Okay.
Dr.
Yep.
Al,
Who?
Al,
Al.
A-L-L.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably Allen, but he goes by Dr. Al Sears. S-E-A-R-S.
S-E-A-R-S. Okay.
He is, I do believe, the CEO of the Philadelphia Institute of Medical Research. Has been for like 30 years.
Okay.
He will tell you stories. You can look up all his stuff there.
Okay.
and most of it's free. Most all of it is free, and he will tell you stuff that is all natural and how long the cure's been around, and it's been outlawed in the states for over 70 years.
Yeah, well, when they finished all those studies on cannabis in like the 70s, that's why they outlawed it and banned it everywhere because they knew they couldn't patent it and they knew that it could, you know, with the C and then the URED,
Uh huh.
they knew it could do that for all kinds of stuff. So that's why they made it illegal because they couldn't patent it because it was something natural.
I patent it every night.
Yeah. We're not talking about puff puff pass, Crystal.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a my uncle told me 30 years ago. You know, he liked to smoke his, and he ended up with a little bit of cancer, and he just kept smoking. And it got so far, and it started regressing. This out of the blue. So I don't know if there's any truth to that, or if you start eating it. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, Shane. After I had my third child, I
Yeah.
tried for probably 7 years to lose the extra weight. But I'd had all the other things that had piled up on top of each other. Like
Yep.
why I had to stop driving long haul was because my IBS was so bad. And I had endometriosis since I was 16.
Mm.
And there was
Well,
just all, yeah,
I seen something for that today. The IBS symptoms. It's all natural.
yeah.
Nothing to
Well,
do.
um, like my bowels when I came off the highway because I couldn't run the coast anymore, and
Yeah.
I know this is a shitty subject, but my bowels wouldn't work but once in 7 weeks.
Holy
And
cow.
the people in Kitchener where I lived, well, the hospital, yeah, where my sister lived, but they that's where my doctor is and everything, and they were like never gave it another thought, didn't bother them at all. But then
Yeah, you get
when I was up at the Toronto hospital, they were like freaking out. The one girl almost hit her knee. She said, "If I don't go for 2 days, I'm about ready to die." She said,
oh
"How
yeah.
can you go for 7 weeks?" I said, "Because this is what's been happening to my body over the last 10 years."
Wow. Yeah, you got to get them toxins out of your body.
Yeah, and see, it was all piling up, right? Everything on one on top of the other.
It can cause blockage, and then you start vomiting your own feces.
Yeah, and we'll see, the thing was, I couldn't lose this weight after my third child, no matter what I tried. I tried like 15 natural things and 5 over the counter things and nothing. I never lost a pound, but I'd gain, but I'd never lose. So, um, when it came down to when I was diagnosed, I'd just been looking after my dad for 6 years because he had Alzheimer's and dementia, and he couldn't stay on his own. He had to have 24-hour care.
Right.
And there was a lot of stress with the volunteer nurse program, the nursings that would come in and look after him at night. You were stressing and fighting with them all the time, and then you had to deal with his dementia and his Alzheimer's. And so it was all, and stress doesn't do well in my body either. So all of it on top of it just pushed everything over the edge. Well, when I was diagnosed, the the original doctor that did the biopsy, he comes in with a file folder and he goes, "Oh," he said, "you have cancer." He said, "I'll go get the other doctor." And he threw the file folder on the door and left me there for 30 minutes by myself.
Oh my goodness.
I was
Uh,
like, "Really?"
Like it was nothing.
Yeah. So, me being me, I opened up the file folder and I took pictures of all the papers in there.
well, yeah, they're
And
your
then the other,
paper.
yeah, and then the other guy came in and he says, "Well, we're going to start you on 6 weeks of 6 times a day aggressive chemotherapy." And I said, "Nope." and his jaw dropped. And he goes, "What do you mean, no?" I said, "No." And it never crossed my mind. Like, I never skipped a beat, Shane. So I knew the guy was standing right there with me. And he goes, "Well, there's radiation." I said, "You're crazy if you think you're burning down there." And, "Well, you can do a colostomy." I said, "For how long?" He goes, "For the rest of your life." I said, God put these parts in my body for a reason.
Yep, they have a job to do. Let them do their job.
So he says, "Well, you have to make a decision by tomorrow." I said, "Well, I've told you my decision." But then they called me again the next day, and I told them the same thing. I said, "I'm not doing any of it." Well, as soon as I said that, they cut me off from everything. They wouldn't give me a social worker. They wouldn't give me anybody to help me get my disability. For 3 years, I couldn't get any help and couldn't get my disability from when I was diagnosed.
Oh, wow.
They
But
wanted you to be their lab rat still.
but the people that said okay to their treatment, they all got their disability within a month.
Well, when you start getting your disability, they back pay you for all the time you didn't get it?
Nope. But they did give it. They did start giving it to me 4 or 5 months ago when all this eviction crap started. But because I was getting disability, they took away my assistance that I'd only just got 2 months before that.
Uh,
It's
you just asking, this is Ontario, right, Brenda?
yeah, down near Chatham, Gigi. I'm about an hour and 15 minutes from Blackwatch, and I'm about probably 4.5 hours from Gigi, and I'm about 10 hours from Dorinda.
Huh.
And I'm many, 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 many hours away from remote because he's like 2,500 miles west of us.
Yep.
Mm.
He's a few minutes away.
Yeah.
Just to walk down the street.
Anyway, Red did get your information.
Yes, she got through to me.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And I'm going to enter her in my contact info right now so it doesn't keep showing up as an unknown person.
Right.
There we go. And see, I did that all without kicking myself out. I'm getting better at this.
Yeah, it can be trying at times, especially when you got 2 or 3 or 4 things going on at once. It can get very trying.
Yeah. Well, like the first 3 months of this whole eviction ordeal, it's like I lived here for 10 years. I had to move here so I could look after my dad. And I doubled my rent to move here. Well, now since the coof, this is a 4-bedroom out in the country, and for me to even find a 2 or 3 bedroom in the country right now is $2,500.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's why another reason why I'm going up north, because
GG, I didn't say a word about all caps, okay? Don't worry about that. I use them.
then we know you're trying to make a point, Gigi.
Carol Z, uh, I'm sure if you looked, he probably does. Or someone in his society does because they research all of,
Natural stuff.
yes, for all body types.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful low in cholesterol. You got to make sure you're low in the right one and not the wrong one. So make damn sure you're careful and research it real good. Because if you lower the wrong one, it's going to make the bad cholesterol go way up. Damn it.
And see, for when my girlfriend and I started research and everything, she's the one who's been in the healing
Nutrition. Yeah.
naturally, yeah. So we started me on all this natural stuff within 2 days of the diagnosis. Within 2 weeks of the starting that stuff, and we were treating the liver because from my research, all of this, including the tumor, was because of the fatty liver that was in that report that my doctor said, "Oh, we'll deal with that later. We have to get this chemo into you." And I said, "No." But from my research, all of it came from the liver.
Well, 90% of all problems in your body come from your kidneys and your liver. And if you
Yeah,
get a fatty liver, yes, that can cause some bad problems. And your kidneys are the ones that filter all your blood, they filter everything out, and then you dispose of your toxins.
yeah,
And then it goes to your liver and then goes on out.
yeah. And see, within 2 weeks of starting the natural program that her and I developed, I lost 12 pounds without even trying. I was treating my liver. I wasn't trying to lose weight.
You train your liver. Then you went to the bathroom finally, lost 12 pounds overnight.
Yeah. And so I had like a greenish gray tone to my skin. It looked almost gray
Yeah.
everywhere. Like it was like greenish gray.
Yep.
And come to find out that that's all the stuff that was deposited in my tissues and my organs
Because your liver
because
couldn't handle it no more.
it had nowhere else to go. So it was just dropping it everywhere. And then that's how the tumors form, right?
Yep. Yep.
So uh, for almost 4 years, it'd be 4 years, November 1st. And I've lost, well, I was 238 when I was diagnosed with the tumor,
Uh-huh.
and I'm 125 now.
Holy cow. You're half the
Yeah,
person you used to be.
yeah. Well, and see, when my one daughter, the oldest one, the one that, the she devil, she screamed in my face the one day. She goes, "You've lost that much weight because you're dying." I said, "No, I lost that much weight because I'm healing. I'm getting rid of all the toxins in my body."
Yep.
"Well, look at the size of you." I said, "Well, unbeknownst to you, before you were born, I said once upon a time, I was this size. I have pictures." And she went, "Oh,
Yeah, because weren't you that size when
How tall
you
are you?
have pictures."
you were
5'6".
Okay. 125 to 148. Your ideal weight.
Yeah. And that's what I was in my 20s.
Yep.
And my hip bones used to stick out like 2 inches. And
Yeah.
my mom sent me to the hospital because she thought I was anorexic.
For
And I
bulimic.
was nowhere near close to anorexic, Shane. I could eat a sub and half a pizza. But I used to roller skate 7 times a week. I used to go to the bar 3 times a week. We used to go biking. We were skateboarding. We were doing that's all we did. We were always on the go.
Uh, Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with chat.
But like over this 3 and 3/4 years, all I've been doing is getting rid of all the toxins in my body. I've had moles disappear. I had a great big ganglion, I guess they call it. It's like a big knot in
Yep.
the tendon on your wrist. And I used to 5-pin bowl with my friends, but I used to 5-pin bowl with my kids too. And it was so bad that I had to wear a wrist support, and I had to pick up the 5-pin ball with 2 hands because that's how bad this thing was.
Right.
And I started rubbing my homemade cannabis butter on it,
Yeah.
and I started this natural thing to treat the tumor, and it disappeared completely. There's nothing left of it.
Yep.
Praise
I
God.
remember.
Yeah. And I keep telling my oldest daughter, she's just, I just keep praying for her. I can't be around her anymore because she's toxic. She's a manipulator. She lies. Not the way I raised her. But I will never stop loving her. So I just keep praying that somehow God will get a hold of her and get her back.
Oh, he will.
Because at one point, like a year and a half ago, she made a video when she was out drunk partying. And she said, when my mom's dead, me and my dad and his girlfriend are going to go get everything and we're going to sell it all and keep the money. She
How old
made
is this girl?
at the time she made the video, she was 17 and a half. She's 19 now.
Damn.
Yep.
A little harsh.
Yeah, so needless to say, the hardest thing for me to do is walk away and stop trying to help her because I've been trying to help her my whole life and it hasn't got me anywhere.
Well, sometimes you just got to throw your hands up and go, okay, I can't help you until you help yourself.
Yeah, I got to wait till she hits rock bottom and she wants to help herself.
Yep, exactly. And she's
My
begging for
mama,
that.
yeah, my mama, my mama used hard love on me. I'm glad she did, but she always kept me up under her wing because I had learning disabilities. I was overweight, real timid and shy. And she always was there to pick me up if I fell or something. And I know
Yeah,
she did it because she loved me. But when I got to be able to get out and fly on my own, I didn't really know how to do it.
yeah.
So,
Well, see, when she was booted out of here a year and a half ago, she tells everybody that I booted her out. It wasn't me. It was her grandmother. Because her grandmother, I was downstairs telling her that she had chores to do and she was arguing with me. And then she said something really ignorant. And I told her to either get up to her room or get her chores done. And she turned around and started chasing me. And she chased me into my room. So I locked the door and I was leaning against it. And she was kicking my door, trying to get in. And eventually she broke something in the door and it did something to my shoulder. I don't know what it was, but I was here with just, and I called her grandmother, and her grandmother was over here in like a heartbeat. And she said, I've had enough of this shit. She grabbed her by the ear and she says, your mother has put up with your crap and tried to help you for the last 10 years, and all you keep doing that. And she says, you're done. You're going to live with your father. Your father can look after you. And that was the end of it.
Well, it is what it is.
Well, when she got to her father, things got a whole lot worse because he just let her do whatever she wanted. And she was out drinking and doing other stuff that she shouldn't have been and making these videos, and she was going out of her way to cause trouble with her brother, and she was going out of her way to cause trouble with her sister. It was like she's not happy unless she's manipulating or lying. So that's when I just came to the point where I'm never going to stop loving her and I'm going to keep praying for her, but I can't be around her because she's toxic. And until she hits rock bottom and she wants to get up on her own and fix it, no one else is going to help her.
There's no one that
nope.
can. She's not going to allow it. It's her way or the highway.
Yep.
Well, she chose the highway, so be it. She's a
But
grown
she's
woman.
telling everybody she turned her life around and all this since she left here. This last time, I gave her a second chance when she called me boohooing, saying that her stepmom and stepsister and her dad were treating her like crap and got her fired and all this other crap. So I let her come back here. I gave her a second chance. Well, she come back here and she lied to me to my face for I don't know how many months. But I found out like 2 months ago when she was screaming in my face and threatening me that she'd taken 2 of the jabberdoodles so that she could go to her cousin's hockey game. Now, I fought for these guys since they were in JK. Every single one of them had exemptions on file at school for any kind of coke since they were in kindergarten. And she goes and takes 2 of an experimental drug so that she can go to a hockey game.
They don't understand.
But she didn't tell me about it the whole 5 months she was here. So she was touching all my food. I wonder if that's what's made things more difficult for me. But I just keep turning up the natural stuff.
Yep.
And keep plugging forward.
Eat lots of fresh pineapple and avocados, and
yeah.
They got a whole list out there. I've got it somewhere buried in my phone. I can go dig it up, but there's a whole list of stuff that gets your pH level up above what you need. Because I think the whooping cough is like an 7.9 or 8.1, somewhere right in there. And pineapple and avocados are 2 of the best, and those are 8.5 and 8.6. So you'll be way above it. And just make it a couple times a week. Eat that stuff, and it'll bring it way up, and it'll fight off pretty much anything you can ever get.
Hang on, I gotta try and find my youngest one some headphones.
All right.
There was a white package, brand new package of them sitting there. Square.
Everybody that's here, thank you for showing up. Like I said, if Chuck pops up and wants to go on, we'll shut this down and let him go on. Or if he decides he just wants to come up here and visit for a little bit, that's fine. So I probably won't go past much of my time of maybe 1:30. So it's what, almost 12. So that's an hour and a half.
I might drop off of here. I'm trying to stay awake.
We'll go get you some rest, girl. We'll be here. We'll be here tomorrow.
All right. Love everybody. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, girl. Have a good one.
You too.
Anybody else that wants to come up, I did pin the link at the top. You're more than welcome to come up. We'll talk about pretty much anything you got or want to talk about. If I know anything about it, I'll give an opinion. If I don't, I won't. So, I know it's getting late for a lot of people, especially up in the eastern side. It's already damn near 1. But it is Friday night. I know a lot of people are hit me up when I was on the other show just a little bit ago. And I told him, well, I'll come back then until Chuck gets up. Let him take his couple hour nap. He said he may get up and want to do one. So. Red, how many mods you seeing out there right now? I'd have to go flip my screens and. Well, Carol Z, that's good. You got them on your side. Oh, wow. Conservative. Okay. Okay, Red. I was just checking. Thank you. Thank you. Finding Keno, hello again. It's good to see you. Like I said, if anybody wants to pop up, links at the top. We'll have a conversation about anything. Waken Trillium, hello.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Okay.
We were trying to find her set headphones because, you know, her charming dad took her phone away. So she has no way to let anybody know that she's safe or anything.
Ah.
And so I gave her my old Neo, but the reason I replaced it was because the audio jack was messed up, and you'd
Right.
have to. It's built into the screen, so you have to replace the whole thing.
Oh wow.
And at the time, they wanted like $200 to replace it, and I went no. And they said, "Well, you can do an upgrade," and I said, "Okay, let's do that."
Yeah. Yeah. It was going to cost me my battery kind of started swelling up on my LG. I had this 720V, which was the
Yeah.
newest one made a couple years ago. It only lasted about a year. The battery started swelling up because I didn't properly charge it and discharge it a couple times like I should have. So anyway, it was having battery problems, and it was going to cost $149 to replace that battery. And I'm so dumb, I let them convince me to buy a $1,000 phone, which was a better deal than $149 battery. I kicked myself in the butt to this day about that.
Also,
So yeah, I should just replace that battery. So I like
Yeah,
that phone,
all the fishing
but this
photos.
one's good too.
everything in here, in this folder, this camera folder, that's all your stuff.
Okay,
All my stuff side of it.
we'll have to transfer it
Okay.
because I don't want to lose all the fishing pictures with you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Fishing is my passion. That's the one thing I want to do when I get up north, Shane. I really don't even give a shit if I have a permanent place to live. I just want to get my fishing pole and my chair and go sit by the lake and fish.
You're gonna have to have a one of those ice augers.
Oh yeah, well, I don't mean ice fishing. I did try that with my son one year, but only once because I have like I don't know. I just don't feel safe walking on ice.
John
But
Dubai. Okay.
it was March, I think, and my friend had a ice hut out on the lake.
Right.
So it had rained about a week before, and then we had some more snow, and it was about halfway out across the lake or the lagoon or whatever.
Right.
And so we're going out there, and we're like almost up to our knees in snow, and then about halfway across, it was up over the top of my boot in water.
Right.
And I stopped dead in my tracks. My eyes, they had to be bugging right out of my head. I looked at my son and I went, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" He goes, "Let's keep going." And I'm like, "Oh my God." We made it out to this ice hut and it was pretty cool. We watched the fish swimming under the hole and everything, but that's the only time I've ever been out on the ice. So if I get up there in time to fish, which I should, hopefully, because I only got a month left to pull this off, then yeah, it will be good for like a little bit of fall fishing. Catch me some pickerel. Oh, I love pickerel.
Oh yeah.
And then find a place to stay. It doesn't even matter if it's like a bed and breakfast or, you know, one of those cheap apartments up there, studio apartment. And then next spring, start looking for some land.
Right. John Dubai. Welcome.
Hey, Shane.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Brenda. How you doing?
Hi. Hi, John.
Hello. I was curious. Did any of you see Potato Head's speech last night?
You know, I didn't watch it. I have got reports on it. I've seen little skits on it, but
It
I
was
didn't
very
watch it.
it was very demonic.
Yes.
And that's what I keep hearing. So I guess I better go back and find it. But yeah, I heard it was like he was saying everybody was domestic terrorists if they didn't think like he did, something to that effect.
I know
And
he's starting to draw a line in the country there. You know, separating people. He's saying, you know, you're a terrorist or yeah.
Well, you know what I'd like to see? Everybody on, and I don't cuss the people on the East Coast, but if they want to draw a line, Washington D.C. needs to stay on the east side of the Mississippi and leave everybody else alone up to the Rockies.
That's
If
right.
if the West Coast wants to join them, well, drive around and go see them. But stay away from this central country here. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. You know, we're self-supportive. We have plenty of oil and gas to do anything we want, and they think they have the right to make us stop. No, they don't. Lori Watkins, I'm glad you found me too.
I think the I think the
sorry, John,
country
go ahead.
I think the country would run fine if we let it alone and let the people who handle the oil and the finances and the food delivery let them do their jobs.
Well,
The
here's
country,
how it kind of went wrong, and I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
no, that's
Where it went
okay.
where it went wrong is these oil people that got big and rich and have all this stupid amount of money. They end up becoming bureaucrats, pushing these politicians to get them the contracts they need on the federal land, and that's where it went haywire. And now they got this administration that's in there now go. Now we know how to take it back. We just cut off the federal land drilling, and it hosed all these bureaucrats that were up there for the oil and gas industry because they're not taking bribes from them anymore. They're taking bribes from, you know, uh, across seas. That's my theory.
Well, look at Shane. Canada's been self-sufficient in oil for decades, and Mr. Sparkle Socks there has shut it all down.
Yeah. What do you think, John? Give me your opinion.
Uh, I agree with you both of you totally. I see the country is going down the toilet rapidly.
Yeah.
How did the stock market close today? Did anybody know?
I did
No,
not look.
I can check,
Yeah, please.
and I can try and do it without kicking myself out.
Don't drop out.
Conservative cowboy, that's odd. At 800 up 2 days ago, now we only got 30 across the whole world. I think they all went radio silent. There's no way.
Listen
30.
here. It closed down today.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Dow was down 337 and the NASDAQ was down 176.
That's not
Well,
good.
we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. That's their whole goal. This administration is to finish what Obama started. Is to take the feet out from under us, take our legs out from under us, cripple this economy, and they've got our troops everywhere but here. The only thing that's here is our reserves. Each state's reserves. That's the only thing that's here, basically. Yeah, you got a few, on leave that's back, but for the most part, they're all everywhere but here. We are probably, in my opinion, we're probably the weakest we've been in 70 years, military-wise, here in the United States. And that's just my opinion.
Hello to everybody in chat that I missed, and I'm sorry if I was babbling.
John Dubeck, where are you from?
Yes.
What state? You don't have to tell me exactly.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about
Well,
yourself?
Oklahoma.
Okay.
I had
I'm in
relatives in
the
I had
country.
relatives in Pennsylvania, in
Okay.
Scranton.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very good. Yeah,
Oh,
used to be a great state here. I don't know how it is now. I think if the stock market collapses, I think we're in big trouble.
well, I have a feeling you may be right, and I have a feeling is I don't think I would look for it to get better anytime soon. I hate being negative, but I really don't see it getting better for a little while. This administration is it's done everything it can to destroy this country,
Yes, I
and that's
think that's obvious. I don't think you need to be. I don't think you need to be an insider to see that. I think it's pretty obvious.
oh, absolutely. Victor, how you doing, bud? Yeah, I think yeah. Anybody that has eyes that can see what's going on. You know, and there's petitions out now to get the all these pipelines started back up, and I hope they do. I hope these petitions can do it because, but the problem is, well, I'm not going to say it, but anyway,
No, say it. Say it.
they're wiping their ass with every piece of paper that comes across their desk.
Hmm.
That's how I feel. That's my opinion, and I hate to say that because the power of the pen used to be one of the mightiest swords there ever was,
Right.
and I hope it still is. But it's not looking good right at this moment because they're wiping their ass on the Constitution. They're not
Right.
following constitutional law. So what makes you think they're going to follow a affidavit or a? And I'm not saying they ain't. All I'm saying is there's a lot more negative going on than there is positive. And the harder we try, the more they fight back and punish us, basically. And they got a lot more assets than we do due to they can fight us with military. Now, will they do it? I really don't think the brothers and sisters in the militaries are going to turn on their own family and wipe them out. Now, you might have that one or two that really don't care. I really don't see it happening. So I don't know.
Oh boy.
All I know is something better bust soon, Shane.
Did you hear that? There's a YouTuber who does videos also. He found the this Joe Biden signature on a lot of the bills that pass his desk, but he thinks that Jill Biden is signing them. He because his signature is doesn't match up with his old original signature.
You
It
know, and
kind of,
there ain't no telling.
yeah,
Give me a
that
second.
that's a major felony, isn't it?
Not if he
Not
gives the power of basically if she's guard him and light him, she has a right to sign for him. Like if he's indisposed of or something,
really.
and he says yes, then she can do it. But she's supposed to sign her initials beside it after she
Right,
signed it.
right.
So it shows that she signed it for him and he gave her permission. Now I don't know if you can do that on federal documents. I know in private documents you can't. Like I can go have my brother sign a bunch of papers for me, and all he has to do is sign my name and put his initials beside it. Period.
Okay,
I've got to step away and go to the boys' room real quick.
okay.
Uh, Brenda, if you and John would keep the chat entertained for a second, I'll be
No
All
right
right.
back.
Well, 100,000 or 1,000 yards, I really hope that it does, because the number of vets that have been taking their life lately, which is inexcusable, they should never ever have to feel that lost or abandoned. um, what's going on with Red down at the border. That should never be taking place. That
Yeah.
man has sacrificed so much already serving in the Marines, and now he's sacrificing protecting the border of the United States, and he's lost his lead dog, 2 horses, his best friend, who was also a Marine who served with him, and he was stabbed last week. Like, this is inexcusable. It's got to stop.
Wow. Who was this?
Red, retired vet.
Oh, wow.
He comes in a lot of our rooms. He and his wife, it goes under hard luck survival.
Okay.
They have a ranch right on the border in Yuma, Arizona, and the migrants are pouring across there, and they're destroying their fences, and they're killing their livestock. It was like maybe a month or a month and a half ago, his lead ranch dog they shot, and then they stabbed one of his horses to death, and they threw a rock at his best friend's horse, and it reared up. He fell off, and he severed his spinal cord in 2 places, and he slipped into a coma, and he passed away a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks ago. And then Red was attacked when he was repairing the fences last week or last weekend.
Red and the first horse was before Jerry John. And then Jerry John, and then the horse that got stabbed to death, he was on it when they started that, when he got attacked.
Oh, no, he lost a horse before that, Shane.
Yes, they cut the backstrap out of it. Yes.
Yeah, he lost the one
Red
right
and the
after.
horse, and then Jerry John.
He lost the one right after his lead dog was
that was
shot,
yes.
and they got one of his horses. Then he was thrown off and damaged his ribs.
Yeah.
And then Jerry John.
He wasn't thrown off. He was knocked off with a rock.
Yeah. And then Jerry John's horse was hit with a rock and threw Jerry John off, and he severed his spinal cord. And then, was it on the weekend, Shane, last weekend, when Red was attacked when he was doing the fences?
No, the dog?
No, Rob.
Rob, yes.
Yeah. Last weekend, he was out repairing the fences.
It wasn't last weekend. It was just
Monday. Monday or Sunday of last weekend.
It was Monday, I do believe. Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he was home the next day, and he come up on panel with me.
Yeah. He was attacked, and they killed another one of his horses.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, they was attacking his horse, and he kind of run over one of them with the horse. And he got up, and that's the one that stuck him in the kidney. And so he bailed off there, and they all scattered. And yeah, but it put his horse down. So, and that's all I can talk about. I told him I wouldn't talk about it anymore. Like I said, me and him talk almost daily on the phone. So I'm just not going to go into more detail. One day he can tell it, or he'll have me tell it, but until then, I'm not going to go anymore. But yeah, it was a bad deal. Yeah. Rob's a great guy. 26 years Marine. He knew what the hell he was doing, you know?
Shane, how long have you had this show? I didn't know you had it. You just popped up on my.
This makes my 13th or 14th show. I've only been on about 2.5 weeks. Tuesday was my 2-week time. That was when I was on for 2 weeks. It was Tuesday.
I just found you by accident.
Well,
yeah. I used to watch you on Liberty Warrior.
Yeah. I know I knew the name.
You mind me asking you why you're not on that show anymore?
They decided
he'd like to know as well.
They decided I didn't belong there anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Are you
I can.
serious?
Yeah. It'd have been nice if they'd told me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. This is a heart attack.
Wow. Hmm. I thought you were a big part of that show, actually.
Hello. Why
Yeah.
do you think he got as big as he did?
Yeah. How about Jeff? Do you have Jeff on this show or?
Jeff has been in the chat a couple times. He hasn't come up on panel yet. I didn't think he'd come over here because he still, he still goes over and visits with Mike and all that all the time.
I don't see him on mic.
Yeah, he don't go up very often, but they visit in the background on the phone.
Oh,
Jeff's
okay.
been kind of
Low key.
yeah, he's staying low key here lately.
Hmm.
I really wish he would have come up earlier and was explained about what he was talking about, potato and everything, because he's really got me confused now.
Yeah, he's a. Hey, I tell you what, I like old Jeff. But sometimes I question his information, but I'm not going to say he's wrong.
Right.
But everybody questions information you put out,
Right.
and so I'm not going to question him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
I
of the
understand.
information he feeds, maybe,
Yeah.
but not him. Because trust me, when me and him are just sitting around giggling and cutting up, yes, conservative. I knew that too. Tammy is no longer there now either.
Yeah. I see. Conservative Cowboy has something on the screen there. Well, why did she leave?
They parted ways.
That's what he said yesterday.
Because she was a big part of that show too.
Yeah,
Wow.
well,
See, conservative put out some stuff the other night. Maybe it was like 4 or 5 days ago. I'm not sure. I screenshotted it.
well,
And
that's like
he was going through all the EOs that Mr. T put in place before he left and explaining what those EOs did after he left. And it was very interesting, and that's why I screenshotted it.
Hmm. Okay.
yeah, 308. I get around. And Victor, yes. Well, at very first, I didn't know the difference, and I was new at this stuff. So, but you live and learn. It was a costly, you know. I paid my college dues to learn this crap. So,
Yeah.
so, so expensive lesson, but I learned it well. It only took me once.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Mike did feel a little threatened by because yeah I guess he wanted all the limelight. I don't know.
Vanity,
Yeah.
vanity.
Yeah. It
Your
gets to
ego,
your head.
your ego will
World's
get you every time.
world's
Hmm.
greatest sin is vanity, fame and
Yeah.
fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vanity. That's all I'm going to say. Because I'm not going to say he's a bad person. I'm not going to say he did me right. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to cuss anybody else's channel on here. That would make me no better than some of the other channels. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
We
Right.
just, we didn't work out. I didn't
Hmm.
like the way it happened. I was very uncomfortable with the way it happened, but hey, it is what it is. I learned my lesson. He got what he wanted. So, it's all good.
Wow.
But it did make me going through that did make me a different person because boy, I was a little butthurt over that one.
Hmm.
Yes, Victor,
Wow.
it is.
Well, so were the lot of us that watched you, Shane.
Yeah.
I went over the last time I was over there. Lady Liberty was on, and I'd been ghosted from Mike, but I noticed I still had a wrench on Lady Liberty one night. This has been about so I've been on here too, so it's probably 4 weeks ago. And I noticed I still had a wrench. I didn't say anything wrong. I said, hello, all. And everybody started responding. I mean, there was 473 or 437, can't remember, people watching.
Mhm.
And over half of them, hello, Shane, we miss you. And the next day, I had no wrench. I went to put in a comment the next time they was on. No one could see my comment. What in the hell is going on? So I
Wow.
called him. He said, no, I'll never turn down your call, Shane. I know where I started. I know how I got here. Well, that was a month ago. Still ain't heard from him.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what flip. I thought at first it might have been Tammy getting in his ear.
Mm.
But apparently it's not her. Maybe she had something to do with it at first.
Mhm.
But I think his new little girly friend really crawled up in his head and he got rid of me. He got rid of Deanna first, which I understand. She, them two were having a little bit of issues anyway. I didn't think it was bad enough, but anyway, I'm not going to get into details. And anyway, then me, then Jay and Tina. And
Then
Jay and Tina are some of the sweetest people on the internet.
that's for sure.
Yeah. Godly, God loving people and God fearing people. You couldn't ask for better people. And then they didn't get rid of them. Let me rephrase that. It was almost like an ultimatum.
Mm.
And they chose, okay, well, maybe this ain't for us. And they decided to go ahead and step away. And then I heard last night about
Tammy,
Tammy.
the hammer,
Or not before last. So, or no, last night.
last
So
night.
then I went back and watched that video of his that he put out as he's driving down the road. And I know where he's headed is, headed to Idaho Falls. You'll see his little girly friend. And I heard him say something about it. And I was just like, something's not right with this picture.
Yeah, he said
All
their
of
vision
them-
of where he said their vision of where things are going are different than my vision, so we parted ways.
Yeah, but you can't do that to people who's been there, helped you grow.
But
Yeah.
he's been doing it to everybody who's helped him, Shane.
Yeah.
Y'all
You're all just stepping stones.
y'all only knew how much money I put in this damn thing that he has. I can guarantee everything he got, everything I paid for.
Mm.
Only thing I didn't pay for is the ladies' V-neck. That's it.
Was the ladies what?
V-necks, t-shirts.
Oh. I know we're picking on Mike, but I just want to say this. His voice, he says the new wave and talk shows and all that's nonsense. I don't think he has the right voice because I mean, he's good with his information, but his voice is like, I don't know, it's not soothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a soothing voice, Shane. You do.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. But his voice is wow. It kind of wakes me up,
Conservative cowboy. Yeah, southern Idaho is Idaho Falls, where his little lady friend lives.
Oh, he's moving again.
Well, he's living in his mom and dad's camper right now.
Oh wow. Okay.
After I just, never mind. I ain't gonna say it. Ain't lie to me. I'm not gonna bash him anymore. Matter
Oh
of fact,
no, I'm not bashing him. I hope he's listening. I don't know. I just, I just find his voice kind of irritating after a while. But you know,
I just, and I don't feel ill about him. I just feel ill about the way he handled it.
yeah,
We were damn near every day, 4 to 8 hours a day on the phone for
Mhm.
over a year.
Yeah. You
And
were like his right hand man, weren't you?
yeah, Bonnie used to make fun of him all the time because she'd say, "Your boyfriend's calling." She'd hear my phone ring, and she knew, okay, I got to go because I'd go take it. And yeah, he used to call me his Blackwatch. He used to call me his cooler because he'd get in an argument with somebody on somebody else's channel, and I'd see it going on. I'd slip in there and I'd just cool it down and calm them down,
Right.
and then it usually worked out not for the best, but better than what him and that other person, whoever it may be, was going at it. And then every time he'd get aggravated at something, he'd call me and vent. And, I mean, it was just I was everything he had to keep him calm. And so I don't know what he's going to do now. Maybe he's got it under control.
Mm.
And he knows I don't jump up and down, scream and holler, and throw a wild ass stupid fit. I just try to keep it calm. I may raise my voice at the time,
Yeah.
but I don't scream and holler and do stupid crap. Punch holes in my own wall that I'm going to have to fix anyway. That'd be dumb.
Are you still smoking, Shane?
Yes, I am. I had it down to 5 cigarettes a day, and
5 cigarettes a day. Wow,
from two and a
that's
half packs,
great. How'd you do that?
I felt like I need a cigarette. I light it, take a couple drags, put it out. A little bit later, if I felt like I need a cigarette, I just relight it, take a couple drags, put it out.
Yeah.
So
Are you still at 5?
do what?
Are you still smoking 5 a day?
No, the stress of a lot of things, that crap that I went through,
Mm-hmm.
kind of, I got aggravated. I need something to cool my nerves, and
Right.
so
I hear. I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
yeah,
I'm
I've
still
been,
smoking.
yeah, I've been looking at, like just now. I just put out my cigarettes. I've only smoked about a third of, but I smoked those cyan peach cigars. I have for over 10 years. They're cigarettes, but they got cigar tobacco.
Okay.
They're sweet, they're smooth. I love them. But and they burn forever. A regular cigarette you can burn up about 5 minutes at best.
Right.
These take about 7 to 12 minutes to burn. So yeah, I've been trying to get back down to that 5 again.
Yeah.
I breathe. I could breathe a lot better.
Yeah.
So,
Brenda, how was it up in Canada? How was it up there?
Terrible. Yeah.
their turd's about as good as our turd.
Yep. He's lockstep with Potato because him and Krista Freeland are up to their eyeballs in the Uranium One scam.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they got to protect their own.
uranium?
Yeah, Uranium One, the big deal that HRC and all them were involved in selling uranium to Russia, and
Oh,
Janet Coleman, hello.
yeah, they're up to their eyeballs in it. But we've already figured out, we went through that organization that Klaus has, and over 3/4 of our parliament belongs to it. So
Imagine that.
and he said that. He said they've infiltrated over half or better of almost every government in the world.
Well, what scares me is, they always say keep your friends close and your enemies even closer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've seen all them videos with Trump escorting Klaus Schwab around.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost scary within itself, too. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And maybe that's what they're looking at. If they can't get it one way, they'll go back to the other way. Because either way, they're aiming for the same goal. And here's my theory: a millionaire wants to stay a millionaire. A billionaire wants to stay a billionaire,
Yeah,
and they do what it takes to keep their status.
that's right.
So, hey, Chuck,
Hey, Chuck, would you make. Oh, no, never mind. I heard. The last I heard before I went off on my phone gallivanting issues was you were really full from Chinese food.
hey, Chuck,
That's the last I heard.
Chuck, I went to shut down, and there was a lot of people wanting to stay on, and but I had a few things I had to take care of, and I said, well, I'll go back on until Chuck's ready to go. So if you're ready to go, Chuck, we'll shut her down. We'll all come see you. If not, jump on up here and we can visit about it. We'll go from there. I want you to have your time too, buddy. I'll chase you over there on your channel if that's what you want to do. I'll try to send everybody that way too. Chuck's a good guy. John, have you watched Chuck? John,
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
have you watched Chuck?
No.
He,
Yeah,
just he just woke up in the same position he was in when he left the live.
What's his What's his channel's name?
Chuck C. Occam's Razor.
Just put Chuck C in YouTube.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
hang on a second, and if you can pull off the YouTube channel, Red, can you drop Chuck's channel, please, or Chuck, either one. Chuck can do it. Red can do it. We'll get John Dubik over there. That'll help with some of them subscribers. Yeah, he's got a good channel. He's like me. He talks about a little bit of everything. He's got a lot of funny stuff. He's got a lot of fun stuff. He's got some serious stuff. He's a lot of fun.
Well, what I like about you, Shane, you're like a cool guy. You lay back in the weeds a lot, which is great. I think that's a fantastic quality to have.
Well,
You lay in the weeds and you lay in the weeds and you don't come out unless you have to attack.
I dropped it in the chat there for you, John.
Oh, okay. I see it. Thank you.
Still food drunk, huh, Chuck?
Too much Chinese.
Well, you're more than welcome to come back up here for a little bit if you'd like. Meat sweets. Hey, if you're going to be drunk on something, ain't but nothing better than protein.
Meat sweats.
Oh, yeah, meat sweats. Hot flashes. Sweet sweats. Hell, it's hard to spell anymore with the way they. I told him I'd come back on until you was going on, and then I would go to bail. So whatever you want to do, bud.
No problem, Victor. I'm sorry. I kept running in and out because I was having issues with my phone and other stuff. Hey, Chuck.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, he sounds rough.
He just woke up. He ain't had his diesel yet.
And you can still feel the lump of Chinese sitting right in the middle of his belly.
Billy, that probably wasn't a bad idea to fall asleep. Probably should have got up and walked to California or something.
Hi, Miss Bonnie.
Walked around and let out some gas.
Hey, Bonnie.
I was wondering when and if you was ever going to show up.
Feel like I ate a half bale of hay. Yeah, I'm sitting in the recliner, didn't put the feet up. My arm was still holding the mouse. My head was leaning sideways. Good thing I didn't get a crick in my neck.
Huh.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Miss Bonnie. Yeah. Well, see what Conservative just put there about Klaus and the R family.
Well, Chuck, maybe we'll get John to go over and sub to you and get him to coming over and checking you out too.
Appreciate it.
Yep. John used to come over to Liberty Warrior all the time.
They got to
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. It's not the same. Not the same.
No, when certain ones joined it, it kind of went haywire. Saying,
Did you ever go on the what's his name? The prepper show, prepping 101?
101. Yeah, I was there with this name. Plus, I was under way back when he first started. I was in Monkey Bone. And that's way back. What, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, about 2.5 years ago. Yep.
Were you ever on that, Shane?
Yeah, I went over there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Watched, and I finally got on panel. I don't know, 3 months later. Me and him went backstage, and we had a little falling out for a minute, and we both apologized, and we've been friends ever since. I can go over there right now, and they'd let me on if it was on. Yeah, we get
I
along
like
good.
him. He remembered me way back. He's like, I wonder why you never come on panel. I said, I just never felt like it. And then I made my own channel. Now I don't care. I'm not stage fright or don't have stage fright at all.
Oh no.
There was a guy that used to come on that show. I forget what his name was. He was a Southern guy. He used to wear a hat. He used to wear a hat. It was I don't see him anymore. Do you remember the guy?
It wasn't Jeff Bear, huh?
No.
How was it?
Oh boy, I can't remember his name. But he was a Southern guy. They still pick on him, lighthearted. It was good. He was funny. But I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him on air in a long time.
I remember a lot of people went to like Travis and somebody went to CBC.
Mark B used to get on there. He was from Australia. He always wore a goofy looking hat half the time. He'd wear those.
Yeah.
Mark B, and
I think he lost his job, right?
I don't know. Then you had that's where I met Jeff B. That's where I met Rage in the Cage. That's where I met Dr. Alan Robb. He was Alan back then, Alan. I met a bunch of them people. KT Katz. I mean, there's a bunch of them. That's where I met Gigi, and I met Bonnie through Gigi. Tactical Wheel. Yeah, it may have been. Bonnie, you're more than welcome to come up here, hon. I know you're on your phone. Unless you got home.
Tactical Wheel sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
What the hell?
Yeah, Travis started his channel after he was on LWN with you and Mike.
Yep.
And I was there that first night when you had the disagreement, and he came up on panel and you all talked it out. And then Travis started his channel, and I started modding there with him.
Yeah, me and Mike helped him get it started.
Yep. And I'm the only mod that's still there that's been with him since he started his channel.
I get along with Travis. Me and Travis get along fine. He's out here from just an hour and a half from me, is where he is originally from.
Yeah.
Okay, Bonnie, there she is. Oh, Bonnie's home. I can tell by the picture. How you doing, Bonnie?
I'm good. How are y'all?
How did it go at Mama's?
It's okay. It was good to see her.
Mama, tell me about the good old days.
It was, I'm trying to think of his name. I don't know if his name was Tennessee Tactical also. It was something tactical, and I think his name was Will, but he's the one that passed away.
Tactical Tonto.
No, that was Tactical Tonto.
Tactical Tonto, yeah.
Was his name.
He was from Michigan, right?
Yep, and I don't think he was ever on prepping.
He was a former police
Oh,
officer.
y'all were talking about on prepping. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry
we was
about
talking. No, you're fine.
Military ex-cop.
Yeah, yeah. He spent like 4 or 5 years in the military, then he went to become the cop and retired. Was on
Yeah.
vacation a lot and ended up got a little sick. Thought he was getting better, and next thing you know, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. His name was Matthew. Uh, I have
That
his,
was
Matthew.
good old boy.
still to this day. I got his number in my phone.
He was a
I
good
don't think you
guy.
can. I don't think he can destroy the deep state. The deep state is deep, very deep.
And
Well, I think
wide.
it can be.
And bad thing about
Oh
them
yeah,
too, they're not people. It's an idea. The bad part of it is hard to kill an idea.
that's it. Bingo. You hit the nail on the head, Chuck. Hey,
What
Linda
he said?
Clay. It's hard to kill an idea
Oh,
because the deep state is an idea.
yep.
Hey,
There's only one way to kill an idea, and that's to bury it. But to bury it, you have to erase everything they've done. And that's going to be tough to do because it's taken them 200 years to start erasing love of God, country, and family. But they're slowly whittling away. Can you imagine how long it's going to take to actually get rid of this complete deep state? Now, yes, can we get it under control? I have a feeling we can. But to get rid of it completely, no. You're always going to have them in the back lurking somewhere, conspiring, building plans.
Well, that speech last night was very disturbing, and we're all targets.
Oh yeah. If you don't say, if you don't bow to the administration's feet, yeah,
But they were saying on Fox News that the way he used the Marines was, how did they say it? Like for us, it would be against the law. It's against something, and whoever gave those Marines that order can be held
for treason.
for something.
which Marine order?
The two Marines that were standing flanking
Behind.
him,
Yeah.
while he was doing the speech, it was like, how did they describe it? It was like a threat to the American people. It was like that they're not supposed to be used in that way.
Well, here's what I was told. If a Marine's hands are behind their back, they're in a relaxed position at ease, and they're there for protection. Their hands are in front. That usually means they're guarding. Now, I'd have to talk to Devil Dog about this to make sure that is correct, but that's what I was told. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
how correct it is.
Hawk said that about that, and then Jeff said something about their medals were in the wrong place.
Yeah, they was out of order. So I don't know what the hell's going on. No one does. Everything about this administration's been so vast backwards.
Yeah, and then that Hitler damn podium with the lights with the Satan vibe to it.
And they showed one view of Potato with his fist in the air yelling, standing with that big red backdrop, and it was the exact same position as Adolf.
It could have been a yelling Sieg Heil.
I mean, he had his fist clenched the same and screaming the same with the almost Nazi-like background behind him.
Hitler, everything was sort of had a Hitler taste to it.
Yeah, and it was very demonic.
Yeah. What time was that meeting? Was it that was kind of late, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was this evening.
Like 9 o'clock?
I don't think it's quite that late.
Yeah, because to get that building with the red lights. I mean, that was outside. That was outside, right?
No, it was in a school gymnasium, wasn't it?
Who knows?
I don't know, but it just added to the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
If you
red
watch
light was.
Star Wars, it looked like Palpatine or the Senate and Darth Vader kind of stuff.
That's right. It was very spooky.
Oh, Angel, good to see you.
Satanic.
Almost made the red made it look like the walls were covered in blood.
Mhm.
Maybe it was.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like I said, there's just a lot of screwy things with everything this administration does.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Nothing's been normal. It's out of protocol. He was in there for 8 years. He should have paid attention, and I'm sure he did.
Hmm.
So why is everything so abnormal now?
Well, I think he's old. I mean, we're 80. He'll be 80 soon.
Yeah, but think about it. 8 years of repetition every day. You would think he would have some kind of memory or muscle response that would,
Yeah.
you know, go back to the way it was.
Hi,
My
Linda.
wife was, my wife was watching and said his forehead looked weird and it looked like he had something like his neck and forehead was wrinkling weird, like a mask was trying to come off.
Jay and
Well,
Tina sent me some pictures. So I
we
don't
were
know.
talking about that too, but uh, I mean, you see video after video of all the fumbling around, can't make a speech, and then to come out and boldly blast that out last night, it was like, uh, just didn't fit.
Angel, no, he is not in control. We know there's someone in his ear, and we all pretty much know who it is. They had this set up a long time ago.
And here's something interesting, Shane, and I don't like. I'm going to tell everybody right now, you can take it or leave it. It's just something that I'm paying attention to. But you remember that list that came out, probably about a year and a half ago about the flight logs and who was on
Yep.
it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then after that, they were saying how many of them had been tried and how many, some were in jail waiting for sentencing and some had been executed.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of them that were on that list that were all both lists, the bye bye list and the fly list. um, both of those lists, those people stopped, so shall we say, every 3 seconds on their social accounts, and you don't hear from them for months on end. And then a bunch of them all started showing up in the news on the mainstream celebrity news for divorces and all this other stuff, right? Well, all of a sudden, and I started paying attention to this channel for the sole reason that they reported on Olivia Newton John before anybody else did,
Right.
and they were right. Well, in the last 2 weeks, it is like somebody gave them the go ahead to open the fire hydrant.
Yep.
And I have been marking down all the people that they are releasing. Many of them they're reporting that they passed in the last 2 weeks. Many of them they're already reporting when their funeral is. So I've been keeping a list of these names, and you should see the names that are on that list. And they're all people that we all knew to look at them for the last 2 years. We've known that they were involved in somehow, right? And do you remember how everybody was saying how strange it was that Garth was at the potato mash inauguration?
Brooks,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I heard something about
that shocked me because I met his mom. I sat and talked to his mom at a concert for 20 minutes, and his mom would be rolling in her grave. Well, guess what came out in the last week? Apparently, Trisha has a brain tumor.
Mm.
And this is from the same channel that reported on Olivia and all these other people. And it seems like nobody's touching their channel, and they've been given the green light to start releasing these names. And now there's a second celebrity channel that's also releasing them, but still none of the mainstream. And everybody said, "Oh, you're crazy. The mainstream hasn't said anything." I said, "They're not gonna." I said, if people seen this list of people that they worship dead, that would wake a lot of people up. And
No,
they
it
don't
scared
want that.
the Jesus out of them.
Yeah, and they don't want those people to wake up because those people still worship those stars, right? Well, if they seen this list of people, that would surely wake up a very large group.
That's like in my stream earlier that I did before I started this one. I've seen some stuff in the chat. And it may have been conservative that dropped it, but the Vatican's calling for all monies to return back to the Vatican. All.
Yes, yes.
Hey, Cindy.
Or
And they
who
don't have
returned to the
any.
Vatican?
Do what, John?
What was that? You said or who to return to the Vatican?
The Vatican said all money. They're requesting all monies need to return back to the Vatican.
Yes.
Because
I
they
don't
don't
think
have
it's a
any.
request. It's like a demand.
Yeah, it was supposedly a bunch of that. The money was taken all out of the catacombs of the Vatican. Remember?
Yep, by the T administration.
There's supposed to have been miles and miles of treasure that was removed.
33 or 34 quadrillion dollars worth.
Oh, really, Carol? That really upsets me. Because they,
Hi, Cindy.
I never ever thought that Garth would cave to that, and that upsets me deeply.
Especially being an Oklahoma boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Hi,
okay. I
Cindy.
didn't like him.
That's like when Blake Shelton married Gwen Stefani. Blake Shelton was one of my favorite singers.
Yeah.
And when he got with Gwen Stefani, and we know, her name was on that list of
Yeah.
flying special flights.
Yep.
It really, really got me.
Yeah.
I still love his music, but I just don't like what he's. If he's involved in that, I'm going to be very disappointed because he don't live very well for me.
What upsets me most about it, Shane, is he was so humble. He took his hat off. He was so respectful to everybody. He would stop in the middle of concerts for people. When we saw him, he stayed on stage by himself for an hour encore with just his acoustic guitar, and he made it sound just like the album.
Oh yeah.
Thieves and liars run hand in hand. Evil is as evil does. So.
Yep.
Yeah. And he said, "I'll stay here as long as y'all want me to." And he was so respectful, and his mom is such a sweetheart.
Oh yeah.
And she would
absolutely.
roll in her grave if she knew.
Mm.
But I mean, like security came out and eventually took him off the stage because he had a show to do the next night in Toronto.
Well, they call Lucifer the deceiver, so they follow in the footsteps. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, I hate that. I really do. I hate that.
And the thing of it is, you know that any of those famous ones are involved because Bob Dylan came right out and said it. He said, "You don't get there unless you sign your soul over," and he said, "I had to."
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
that's true. That's true. That's everybody on television is tainted.
Yeah, they got to make a deal with the Crossroad Demon somehow.
Yep.
Well, like I said, when he got stuck He's been up there in Hollywood for 17 years. Not stuck there, but back and forth in between his Oklahoma place and there. 17 years. And Gwen Stefani, she has been doing this since 1989, and she was worth 60 million, or 40, or 60. And Blake Shelton was worth, after about 10 years of being with The Voice, he was worth like I don't know, about 40 million more than her.
Well,
So it's like, okay, yeah, people are spending more money, people are making more money. It's worth less, but they're making more. But it just didn't make any sense. And then we got together, and
I
then
wonder if it happened to Garth when he made his comeback, because he took that time off to be with his kids, right? And I'd seen him before he took the time off.
yeah, he took the time off, I think, to go through that divorce from his first wife, and to be
Yeah,
with his
well,
kids.
he said he wanted to go and be raised with raise his kids, and then while all that was going on, all the stuff with Trisha happened, but he spent the whole time until all three of his kids had finished school. But when he
Trisha,
came back, he was saying on like several interviews that he wasn't sure about starting back up his career because he didn't know if anybody would still come. And I was like, what? Are you crazy?
mm,
And that's when he did that. I don't know if was it Central Park he did it in
mm-hmm.
concert, and like millions showed up.
Oh yeah, and he had special guest. Can't can't remember which other country thing was there, but
Oh, Kino, is that the one where he said he sold his soul? And that everybody that's at the top has done the same thing?
I think so.
Cindy, Tom McDonald. I love his words, but I do not like his videos.
He's
One time you
married
see him,
into
he's
one
got
of them.
regular eyes. The next time they're blacked out eyes, nothing but
Mm.
he looks demonistic. That's what turned me off with him. I loved his message. I just can't stand looking at him.
He's married into one of them top families too.
Which
I
one?
Yeah.
forget, I forget who his wife is, but her parents are one of them upper echelon,
Yeah.
like Hines or one of them. I can't remember who it is.
Oh, she said, yes, it is.
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's right. It was Arkansas. The person I was talking about, he was down south. I don't see him much anymore.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yeah,
Refresh
Arkansas
me.
living.
that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's real funny, and um, he has his own channel, but he hasn't been putting out much.
Mm.
Conservative cowboy. It's called vanity. Fame and fortune. Vanity is one of the favorite sins of the devil. Vanity. Fame and fortune. All about me. That's what vanity is.
Oh boy.
Yep, that's what they're all saying. It's a big old mess.
Mm.
Yeah. Conservative cowboy, you are correct. And people keep sending me links to him. And I have not get over to watch him yet, but I'm getting there. Finding Keno. I said hello a couple times, but I'm going to do it again. Thank you. Yeah, money for nothing, chicks for free. 308. You are correct.
And that's the same as like the Union Bank of California. That was started during World War II by Adolf, and it was funded by Prescott Bush and the Roth family.
Yep.
Red Shield.
Yes, and it's still going today in California.
Yep. Why do you think everybody in that state still gets manipulated by them?
Yep.
Oh, it could be Ark Wildman too.
I love listening to him sing.
Yes.
Yeah, he does a good job. Unlike me, I only sort of kind of sing okay.
You hear my little violin?
Thought I'd say it before Victor did if he was still in here.
Blackwatch said he had X number of million in Monopoly money. I said, well, boy, I'll tell you, I wish I had the money I had in my Zynga poker account.
Yeah, no kidding.
Dang.
That's several hundred billion.
Well, and here's the thing. I tried to get my family, the other side of the family, ex family, to teach me how to play poker, and they wouldn't. So I went on there and I learned how to play myself. And I vowed that I was never ever going to buy chips. If I had to buy chips, like physically lay out money off of my card, buy chips, then I wasn't playing.
That's it.
And I have never paid for chips, and I have 489 million in my account on Zynga.
There's Victor. I'm sort of kind of here, Shane. I
My
forgot
friend
about
says,
that. But Victor's always have to remind me about that sort of kind of thing.
oh, I want to take you to the casino with me. I said, for what? Because she says, you play poker really well. I said, yeah, but not with real money. I said, I wouldn't use real money to play poker. And she goes, well, you can use mine. I said, I wouldn't use yours either.
I want to tell you what, those video games on your phone and internet in real life, I used to do a lot of gambling. It's two different games. I want to tell you. And what that does, you play it online, you get really good, then you run out to a casino and you get really broke.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
Then
get really
that was
broke in
it.
a hurry.
They would say, I'm going to pay for you to play for me at the casino. I said, nuh-uh, not with real money.
And I used to go to a casino. My brother would take 100, maybe 200 bucks. I'd take no less than 1,000. I'd sit down at card games, whether it be table games or I never played the full size table poker with 15, 20 other people. Never did. And I'm not into that. But there'd be six at a table where I was, and it was against a dealer basically against a dealer. Love them games. And I was pretty decent at them, but yet it's still at the luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Played a lot of craps, a lot of roulette. I figured out how to. I watched every video I could on roulette. And my brother, he said, "How do you make so much money on roulette?" So I showed him what I was doing, and he says, "Okay." So me and him sat down there, and one night we sat there and had every red chip they had, which are $5 chips, and they had to go get more red chips because they started giving us ones. So we have to have a stack of like 6 inches high to get the same amount of money on each spot. And so they went and got more red chips, brought them out, and we took almost every one of those. And about that time, I said, "Okay, Bob." He said, "What?" I said, "Wrap them up. Let's go." He said, "Why? We're winning." I said, "No, let's go. We pressed our luck enough. It's time to go." So we did. And we left, and we was both happy campers.
Yeah, and see, the only thing I ever learned to play as far as gambling was Texas Hold'em.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I like 3 card. I like Texas Hold'em. But like I said, the Texas Hold'em, we're sitting with 10, 15 people. No. Texas Hold'em, Mississippi Mud, 3 card or 5 card, Texas Hold'em, Mississippi Mud, plush, uh, and free card.
I don't know what any of those are.
They're table games. Like I
Yeah.
said, they're a lot of fun.
Slight variations in each game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And slight variations no matter where you're at. From Dodge City, Kansas to Buffalo, New Mexico to Laughlin. Yeah, very. They have different rules.
Yeah, see, Carol, I like playing bowling, but only if I'm doing the real thing and it's 5-10. And I plan on getting back into that once I get out of this nightmare.
Well, we do real bowling. We do bowling here, but it's 10 pin.
Oh, I tried that once, Shane. I ended up halfway down the alley with the ball.
Ball drag, you did it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you find out real quick. Never step across that line because the wax is a whole lot different.
yeah.
Yeah, and you will slip and slide all the way down it. You may make a strike, but that's because you used your whole body.
Yeah, I did the 5-pin. We made it all the way to the regional championships once.
Huh.
Our ladies team.
Good night, 1,000 yards.
Yeah, 308. Have a good one, man.
Good night, 1,000 yards. See you later.
God bless
Good
you.
night, Chuck.
Uh-oh. We got another one. Here we go.
Good night, Dawn. Oh, who's going? It's just 1,000 yard that's going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck's not going. Chuck was just saying goodnight to 1,000 yard because he's going to bed.
Oh, sorry.
Chuck's going, get the hell out of here, Chuck.
Chuck's
Sitting here
just
being quiet.
Chuck's
What's
just
that?
Waking
that?
up, drinking some diesel.
There you go. He'll be ripping rare to go here in a minute once you get them old engines fired up.
Yeah, I like 5 cards. That what I hit on tonight, I've won that money in, but I was in like 20 minutes. I
Oh,
start
yeah.
playing weird games, and I'll play $1, $2. When I notice that one of the games starts acting quirky, I'll bump it up to $4, and I did that, and that's when them 5 fours hit, and it paid me $1,000.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's like, how you want this money? And you going back to gamble? I said, no, I'm leaving while I'm winning.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm putting that in my. Here's what I do. This I take $300 into the casino. I win $1,600. I put the $1,600 of my bucks in my pocket, and I'll take and finish off the other 200. If I win more, I'll put it in the other pocket, and I'll finish off what I've got left. When I run out of that money I come in with, I leave. I'll cash out the tickets, what I got in the other pocket, and that's what I go in with. That's what I go home with.
Yeah, see, the only
Money management.
Yes.
The only time I ever gambled in a real casino, I took $10 in. I got $10 worth of nickels. I went to the nickel slots, and when I had 3 buckets of nickels, I left.
Well, see, we didn't ever have where we go. There is no such thing as a nickel slot. Now you can get them in Vegas.
Yeah, that's where we were because we used to run from Toronto out to the coast, and we would stop in Mesquite, Nevada, because they had an awesome breakfast
Well, I
buffet.
remember you saying that.
Yeah, 400 feet of breakfast,
Ah,
and they had the most awesome showers. They had water pressure that would like put you against the back wall. I love that kind of shower.
you like that kind of abuse from a garden
Well, just
hose,
from a
huh?
shower. I just hate when you go to a shower and the water just trickles out. That's so annoying.
Oh yeah, takes you 45 minutes to rinse your hair out.
Yeah.
Bonnie, you still with us, hon?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Bonnie.
Don't apologize, Brenda.
How's your mama doing?
She's doing okay.
Good. Good deal.
Very good to hear.
Yep.
I believe next time I got a hankering just for shrimp fried rice, I'm gonna go buy me a little box of it and go home.
Good idea.
Poor Chucky's hurting.
And now it's just like it's not.
It's not hurting. It's too swollen to be hurting.
The meat sweat part's what gets me, and just the ball in my stomach is like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you put a little baking soda in water, that helps.
Yeah, I heard that from a couple people on the earlier show I was doing.
Or Alka-Seltzer. Remember the commercial?
Alka-Seltzer to the rescue.
Pop, pop, fizz, fizz.
Yeah, that stuff there. If I drink it, I'm guaranteed it empty my stomach. I've never been able to drink an Alka-Seltzer and keep it down.
You'll get rid of it, not the way you need to.
Oh yeah, it's like a reverse flush from every time I've taken that. And then Dad used to get that Brioski or whatever it looked like, white powder stuff he poured in, did like Alka-Seltzer. That stuff get me too.
BC powder or something like that.
No, that's
No,
what
that's aspirin.
yeah, that's great.
This other stuff like Alka-Seltzer, but Alka-Seltzer tastes horrible. This stuff made horrible taste like, that's pretty good. And other stuff was bad. Even Alka-Seltzer Plus, it had flavor and all that out there. It's like, okay, it don't stay down. It doesn't hit all the way down until it comes back.
Well, it's one of those deals. You go outside and poltergeist. Well, then your belly's okay because it's empty now.
Yeah, like I feel better.
I just hate the feeling of vomit.
I didn't enjoy the trip to feeling better, but I feel better.
Yeah.
You said you like Brioski?
No, that was even worse for me. That stuff would make me I guess because I tried it once, but just the smell of it fizzing would make you want to get sick. Yeah. But Dad, well, you got it up. That means that something was in there it didn't need to be. So.
Yeah. Well, the baking soda doesn't taste great, but it does help. And it just takes a few sips.
Of what?
Baking soda.
Oh yeah.
See, Red said teaspoon to 8 ounces of water.
T. Clark, what do you mean by which channel? You mean which one am I watching about the celebrities that are dropping like flies? Is that what channel you're asking about? It just feels shame like that channel's been given the okay to open the fire hydrant because nobody's touching them, and they're listing all of these deaths, and they're even listing the funerals.
Well, if they're not getting touched, maybe you got to step back and look at the bigger picture. Maybe it's a distraction.
But all of these people, they're on those two lists, and none of them have been posting on social media, except for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's all about illnesses in their family or divorces or stuff like that.
Well, kind of like John Legend and what's her name?
Oh, I know who you mean, but I haven't seen them on the list yet.
Yeah, they're on there.
Oh, no, I mean on this recent list. I've seen them on the fly list and the die list.
Yeah, and they've been at private social deals with Mr. Big Ears.
It's called Celebrity Hub. Well, I'll tell you what. Stallone's been in the news a lot for the last couple of weeks on the celebrity, like Inside Edition and all that, because of his divorce and the whole ball of wax. And so
yeah, but that's it.
Apparently, he passed away in his sleep from a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah.
Hadn't heard that.
He just put a movie out here. It came out.
Yes, Cindy, that's it.
What's that, Chuck?
Stallone just put a movie out here not long ago. Remember I told you all about I watched it the other night.
Yep.
Name.
Nope.
Well,
You know, him and Schwarzenegger and Trump are all about the same age. Did you know that?
and
I
that
know. I know.
and that
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone are the same age, born the same year. I think Trump is right in there too.
Movie Samaritan, that was the name of it.
well, out of those three names that you mentioned, not including Mr. T, the other both of them are both on both on this recent list that came out.
I know.
The one that they're dead.
Yep.
Schwar-
I've
Schwarzenegger
seen it.
Schwarzenegger apparently had a stroke.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny how everybody has a stroke and dies when they get caught.
And there was a whole bunch of them in the last 2 weeks that said because of whatever issue they were in the hospital for, that the doctors gave up and they passed away. And that was the explanation.
Well, and here's the thing: you got to remember, a lot of people are going to put out a lot of stuff to get views and likes and support. So I have a hard time, because Hillary, she's been killed 35 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
So-
got more lives than a room full of cats.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Well, the only reason that I keep paying attention to the information they're putting out is because they were the first ones to report about Olivia Newton-John, and they
Yeah.
were absolutely correct.
Well, I'm not saying you're incorrect. I'm just saying I got to be careful of
Oh,
what I.
no, I'm not saying that it actually happened, but as they're spewing out all these names, I decided I would start keeping a list of the names to see what happens.
Cindy Fuller says he was on his daughter's podcast just this past week.
Yeah, he apparently just died the other night in his sleep of a heart attack.
Well, 70-some years old, you're still working out like you did when you was 30. That's a lot of stress on your heart. But if you don't keep exercising, it's a lot of stress on your heart because you got all that extra fluid and you ain't got all the mass to take care of some of that fluid. So it all goes back to your heart and cause swelling heart and heart disease.
Yeah,
So it's a catch-22.
and like I said, the only reason I'm not saying that they're correct, but I know that they were the first ones to report on her, and they were correct about that. So I started writing down the names and they were trickling out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They were coming out maybe one every 2 days. Now they're coming out like 3 or 4 a day.
Well, I think mainly it's a big distraction so everybody ain't paying attention to what's really going on.
Yeah. Fox News was playing the video cam that finally came out of the Paul P accident and that whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
There definitely was a passenger.
Yep.
No wedding ring on his hand.
And somebody or something like that. Can't remember the name.
Wasn't Paul
That-
Walker the passenger in the car?
No, it was a female.
No, he was the driver. His hands were all bloody and bruised, and they're saying that it was Ann Hatch who
Yep.
was off a few days later.
Yep. That's it.
They're saying it was who?
Ann Hatch.
Ann Hesh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't she the one that just died like a couple weeks ago?
Yep. Right after 2 days after the car wreck.
Yeah,
she,
well,
she smashed up, man.
Yeah, I watched the thing on that, the 3-hour thing on her, and he went back and showed when Hollywood was taken over, and where the bloodline families came into it, and her family was one of the bloodline families. And the street that she raced down and the street that that house was on were two of the names in the bloodlines connected to her family.
Yep.
When she struggled to get out of that body bag in Gurney, she didn't want to be dead yet.
Yeah, and she didn't have a burn on her, and her hair wasn't singed or nothing.
Nope. It was all fake. Uh-oh. We lost some black lights.
I must have thought
That's
she
the
lied a
theory.
lot. They must have
That's
thought
the theory, Doc P.
they
That's
must
the
have
theory.
thought she lied a lot. The way they pushed her down, she was struggling to get out of there. You're dead. God, we don't believe you.
Yeah, Victor, I saw that too. I saw him do the interview on, I think it was Fox, or maybe it was OAN, when Tyson did the interview.
His head injuries finally got to him, huh?
I don't know. Didn't he take? Didn't he take a? Didn't Mike Tyson take an injection just before he got sick?
Well,
Oh,
apparently not willingly. Apparently he was held down by 14 or 15 people and they stuck him with it.
I don't see that happening.
Well, that's the story he's telling.
Yeah, he took an injection for the one of these viruses going around.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of watch some of them words, guys. Took
Yeah,
the
I'm sorry.
jab and for the whooping cough.
And see, that's another thing. Awakened Trillium said protective custody. I believe that could be true of a lot of them, that they're saying go in and just poof, they're gone because of the connections she did have.
Yeah. Because she was, Bonnie, she was working with that. You remember the congresswoman from Indiana that was killed in the car crash the week before?
Yeah.
Her and Anne Hesh were working on that movie together called The Girl from Room 13, and it was supposed to be about Anne Hesh's life.
There you go, Bonnie.
And they were told they wanted
Buddy, I'm too hot.
this stuff and this stuff and this stuff and this stuff all taken out of the movie. And she said it's not happening. She says nothing's being cut from this movie. And they told her she needed to shut up, and she wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric, it is. No, and Victor, I did not nuke Black because Bonnie should have. I'm pretty sure Bonnie didn't nuke him either. So
I have
I don't know.
no power here.
You lost your power?
Yeah. My button power. I don't have power over the channel.
Oh. I thought you meant power, like your power went out.
No.
Her hands are tied over here a little bit.
Oh.
I know. So I'll go to Conservative Cowboy and try to highlight it, and I'm like, nothing's happening.
Which one? Let me see.
It was way up there about the Marines. He said whenever their hands are folded on their abdomen, that means
They're guarding a prisoner.
guarding a prisoner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Marines look very, very odd behind Biden.
Yeah, everybody.
Dressed weird.
Do what, Chuck?
Standing weird, dressed weird.
Yeah, and their badges aren't in order.
That's what I mean. Everything's off a little bit. It's just nothing is exactly right. That's part of
the relaxed mode is. Yeah, the relaxed mode. Their hands behind their back. Their hands are in the front when there's something going on, basically.
Guarding a prisoner.
Well, that's what I keep hearing, but I can't confirm or deny that.
That's what Hawk said too. And Hawk was a Marine, right?
Yeah, and I wish D Dog was around because I'd ask him what it means, and maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just. But sometimes if it was just a free for all, you can stand with your hands in front or back, whatever you want. It's kind of odd that both of them had their hands in front because they're so trained to put their hands behind them when it's in
Right.
at ease.
And somebody said, how come the one on the right, as we looked at it, his hands appeared to be glowing? And I forget who it was, but someone said if you look at the picture from left to right, it's dark to light. I don't know about that, but that was something
Yeah, I don't
someone
know.
else said.
But yeah, you got to be very careful of the rabbit holes you run down because man, they can take you astray and get you off the point of what's really going on. Doc B, the brains were CGI. Well, I don't know, maybe. I'd have to go back and look at it again. I just took a
And
glance.
I couldn't watch it. I can't stand listening to the man.
Well, you hit pause and watch it, or hit mute and watch it,
Yeah,
but you look for the details.
yeah.
Oh, I saw the highlights. It was definitely a threat to Americans.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. That is
And-
crazy.
Devil Age.
And you notice if you look at a picture of Potato like 6 years ago, his eyes were like sky blue,
Blue.
and now they're
Yep.
black.
No soul. You
And
know,
is
like
that-
sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Is that tomorrow, that rally?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay.
In Pennsylvania, on the same day that they're supposed to be able to destroy those little bits of paper. Supposed to be.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the judge ordered they couldn't be destroyed as long as there was an active investigation, and it was still active. No.
But there's a bunch of states that have already destroyed them.
Oh yeah, no one's going to follow orders because they don't have to.
Yeah.
Look at Doc P.
Oh. Ha.
Huh.
Has anybody seen the vice president lately?
Nope.
Yeah, we've seen her once. I think that was at inauguration. And then we seen her one time in Guatemala, and they was telling her to get the hell out.
Yeah, and I saw her cackling in Eagle Pass.
Yeah,
Was it Eagle Pass?
yeah, I was down there by Eagle Pass. Well, yeah, it was close to Eagle Pass.
Guess she won't go there now.
I thought
She
the
should
closest she got. I thought the closest she got to the border was like 400 miles away.
750
It was. Isn't
No,
that
but it was sure convenient that she run across the seas. Every time something happens here, she runs across the seas on our dime.
Right.
isn't that Eagle Pass on the way western tip?
Yes.
That's where she went.
Yep.
And at that time, that was the safest place to be. Now it's being overrun, so I'm sure she won't be going back there.
There ain't no telling. Like I said, she has never been a vice president. She hasn't taken responsibility for anything but spending money. And, she hires a bunch of child actors to sit there and pretend they love her while she's giving a speech to, 6, 8 of them. And, yeah, it's all a bunch of horse shit. I don't know. What do you do?
That's a good one. Way to go, conservative. See that one?
Which one?
The one he just posted. 229.
I knew that didn't sound right. El Paso is over there.
Yeah, it's in between El Paso and that little tip. Who has a howling dog outside?
Not me. Not tonight.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it too.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on.
That's Brenda's fan on her laptop.
Ah,
Oh, is it?
well, it's howling at us. Black Watch, welcome back.
Yeah, I just went down for a second. Sorry about that.
Well, you didn't have to plumb off. Just go take a potty break. You just hit mute.
Is that better?
Just so on my effort, so I don't want to go down the hall.
Oh.
I had one hell of a day today, and I got a lot covered. And somebody thought good reason to feel glacier does. You know, but sometimes we give up trying to lighten somebody's spirit who doesn't want it. Anyway,
You got that right, Eric. Is it gone now? Because I had my fan on
I don't hear it.
and I shut my fan off.
Eric never did get up for Tiddlywinks Day for his birthday.
Brenda, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
When your fan was it on oscillate?
Nope. It was just in one position.
Okay. Sometimes when it's on oscillate, it'll make that humming sound as it turns, and because the wind
Yeah.
is changing, then it'll
No,
come
I
back.
just had
Almost
it on low, but I shut it off.
It's fine. I was just wondering if somebody had a dog. If you're gonna get hot, turn it back on. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't
No,
annoying.
It kind of set the tone.
Yeah.
I just
So
had
you
it on because it's still 70 here outside, and it's like 80.
Oh yeah, it gets stuffy. Yeah.
It's 80 inside because I refuse to turn my air conditioner on.
Yeah, you gotta save a little money somewhere. Turn it on. Do not get hot. It wasn't bugging me. I just thought I heard something.
Okay. Is it back now?
No. I can hear a little bit of air moving, but that sounds good.
Well, that's my fan.
It only did it every now and then. It's kind of sound like a little like werewolf off in the distance howling.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, isn't that something about Palin? She won by 27,000 votes, but she lost because they have that stupid ranking thing where they rank people 1, 2, 3, or 4. And so the Democrat got ranked 1, and Palin lost, even though she had 27,000 more votes than anybody.
Oh, she got the popular vote, but she didn't get the electoral vote. Huh. Makes it kind
She
of
got
useless.
the ballots, but they have this stupid thing in Alaska where it says rank 1, 2, 3, or 4. And even though she had 27,000 more ballots on the ranking, she lost.
Well, that's like when Trump and Hillary went at it. Hillary had the popular vote, supposedly, but she lost because she didn't have the electoral vote. She had a lot of votes in the states that only have so many electorals.
Yeah.
And she went way over in certain states, but they didn't add any more electorals to it. So she kind of screwed up. Yeah, you can win the popular vote, but that don't mean you win.
And they were talking at that Alaska rally that because of the way their voting system is set up, they had to make sure that they rank. If they're voting for her, they needed to rank 1 as well on the ballot.
Right.
And they talked about it, I don't know how many times, even Mr. T made a comment about how stupid it was.
Yeah.
Well, even still, that the numbers were the exact same as New York brings question. If they're going to do it, they need to mix it up a little
Yeah,
so it's not so obvious, because it's obvious what's going on now. They saw the red wave all the way across and freaked out.
yeah. That's the same as all these people that are supposed to be gone, that everybody says is in WITSEC. And there's some of them that have been at almost all the rallies. One of them was even in Washington on January 5th, the night before, when they were what's that place that they had the stage set up? Was it Friendship Park or something?
Something
And
like
my General Flynn and his family went down there. There's all kinds of people were going down there and speaking, and there's some people went up singing. There was a bunch of rappers went up, and when all the rappers went up on stage, up from the back of the stage comes someone in behind, and they're all singing, but they're all running back to this person at the back and doing fist pumps and laughing their butts off. And he's the same person that's been at almost every single rally since 2018 to now. He was in Alaska too.
You got a good Shane, you have a good chat. Do you believe in the Galactic Federation, Pleiadians, etc.?
I think he stepped away for a minute. And Vicky, that's not me squeaking. I was muted.
I don't think it's me squeaking because I can hear it.
Okay, I got two things to say. First one I'm going to address is there's two things we're missing on Alaska and New York. 51 to 48. That's 99.
Yeah.
When you count the votes, there's 100% votes, correct?
Yes.
100% of the votes. Why are we missing 1%? 51, 48.
Exactly.
Okay. Just a point. Do I believe in the galactic force?
Federation.
Federation, whatever you would call it. Yeah, as long as it never leaves inner Earth's orbit, because we've never been outside of it. Even Obama, the bonehead, said it live one day in 2014, late 2013, early 2014. He even said it. One day we will be able to get out of inner Earth's atmosphere. And then there was an interview with NASA. They said, "How come you can't get back there?" And this is during Mr. T's term when he was first in, when he was really grilling NASA and he was wanting to shut it down because he knew there was a joke. And he says, "You got till 2025 to get us there to the moon." Well, we used to have the technology, but we lost it. Now, bull crap.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you use technology?
Yeah.
They can do it in the 60s, and the new technology we got now, we can't do it.
And
Here's like a malarkey to me.
Here's the question I have. So if there's a pilot up orbiting and there's two on the ground with the lander, who's doing the videoing?
Well, see, and that was my question.
That's right.
Here's the question.
That's a good point.
Okay, wait a minute. Who was there on the ground filming it when they land, or they take off and land again? Because they said they didn't have enough fuel to do multiple landings. They only could do the one. Okay, that was the first. Then I said, well, who was that? Who did they leave behind to film the takeoff? They said, well, it was a rover. But yet that's kind of funny that the rover's sitting in the Smithsonian Institute. Now,
Right.
who says, oh, crap, turn around. We got to go back and get that damn rover. We ain't got the fuel. Now, what makes sense about this whole damn situation?
And you know what else was happening the same time of that landing? They were filming Space Odyssey 2001. Was that the name of it? Space Odyssey 2000.
The Stanley Kubrick film.
Yeah, they were filming that the same time as that landing, supposedly.
And look at their ship they went up in. Now, you're going to tell me you went through low Earth orbit into outer space and a gold colored aluminum foil steel frame. I made it all the way to the moon, but we can't do it with all this porcelain
technology.
Yeah, and the technology. We can't do it.
Yeah, there's something very, very fishy about that. You're right.
And what's the name of the space that orbit? The
laboratory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ISIS.
Yes.
And what's the name? And what's the name of the rocket that connects to it? The Dragon.
Yeah, because I get a bunch of bullshit all over.
And the one that they were supposed to launch and they scrubbed it and they're going to try again Saturday or something.
Yeah, today.
Is 322 feet tall. That's one of those S and K or S and B numbers.
It's nothing but a BS lie to suck money out of the American people.
That's right.
You know, I used to watch Bill Nye, the Lion Guy. They used to call him Bill Nye, the Science Guy, but I changed his name to what it really is when I was a kid. And he's still out there spreading BS because he's good at it. That's probably why they still have him. He's getting pretty old now, but he still does it occasionally. And I just don't believe anything NASA has to say, and I don't think Mr. P did either, because he questioned it. He pushed it. And he knew damn good and well they couldn't do it. And he had been through the books. And they got books that say things that they don't put out to the public. So he was questioning them, and he's trying to eliminate them. He was trying to get rid of them. And that's why he made Space Force. And everybody goes, oh, they're in outer space. Well, think about it. What are we in right now? Me and you and Brenda and Black and Bonnie and Chuck. We're in cyberspace right now. What do you think cyberspace really stands for? Another way to approach that, isn't it?
NASA doesn't need to investigate anything. Einstein already proved it. To get out of here, you got to hit the speed of light, and matter disintegrates before that. Simple. So why kill you? You can't do it.
You can't get past the radiation belt. Period.
Right.
Period.
That's right.
And Remote was saying that the word NASA in Hebrew means to deceive.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, come on. You can't come up with National Aviation Space Administration and do that. Cross.
No.
Come on.
Not another stupid administration. That's what I call it.
Well, Kennedy simply got pissed off because the Russians put the Sputnik out. That's all in 1958.
It was all a hoax to get the jump on China and Russia back in the 60s, late 60s. Started in the late 50s. It was all a hoax.
Sure.
Chuck's got some pretty cute little videos making fun of it. Chuck, you still with us?
Yep.
Hey, you got that? You got that little short clip of where they went to stake the flag and he hits him in the foot. He jumps back and knocks over the lunar lander.
Yeah, it's like a meme thing that I got on my.
Yeah.
GIF that I got on my StreamYard.
Yeah, that is hilarious. That makes more sense than anything.
And they're watching a video of people giving a cat a bath in the sink.
Oh yeah, that's smart. Like I said, I always have make sure I have one of my cubs got the sliding doors on it. I'll throw the dogs and the cats in there and turn on the shower. And I'm sitting there and shiver and get just soaking wet. I'll walk in there and open the door just far enough I can squirt shampoo all over the dog or cat shampoo, then close the door. They'll go to rolling around. They'll wash themselves, and then they'll rinse off. And when they're done, then I'll have towels on the floor and get one out, dry it off, and send it on its way and get a deal with it.
Eric.
Wow. I hope you're not naked. Laying in the beanbag, eating Cheetos. Ron White.
Yeah, there's something very odd. There's something.
Do it. John, go ahead.
There's something very odd about this rocket launch.
Okay.
It's coming at a time when nobody's expecting it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, why are we spending money on that right now?
Another distraction, John.
That's right.
Why are they sending billions to the Ukraine?
Oh yeah.
Because they need it washed.
That's sickening.
But to help secure their borders, but they can't secure your borders or look after the kids in your schools.
They're doing everything they can to weaken this country. They're not guarding the borders. The stock market's going down the tubes.
Oh, I see where the feedback's coming from. It's coming from Blackwatch.
Yeah, he had this problem the other day. He was on for a while, and then all of a sudden it started feedback. It depended on the voice level, and like the higher pitched sounds, some of the higher pitched sounds, he's really reverbs at times. And I have a feeling it has to do with his external speakers. I know there's nothing he can do about it, so
I can try the settings again to see that they held on mono on the speaker. That's all I can think of.
I know, and I understand that.
I'll go try it, see if I can get it.
Okay. And that was another thing. You know how they say the C_A has been involved in the scripts of all these movies for like decades, right? And there's supposed to be all kinds of calm in those Back to the Future movies about what's going on now.
I don't know about Back to the Future. I never analyzed it, but I analyzed a lot of movies. And some of the ones I used to watch, I really enjoyed. I went back and just thought to myself, I thought, yeah, it makes more sense now.
Well, here's a prime example. Originally produced in 1939, what color were the shoes that Dorothy were wearing?
Red.
Red.
Exactly.
Get this. I'm 40 miles from that where it was originally, that story originally was made. They have the museum in Liberal, Kansas, is where that movie was originally written. Some of it was written in that area. Most of it was written in Hollywood. And I knew when you said 1939 what the show you was going to bring up. That's the Wizard of Oz. And like I said, there's a place up in Liberal I go to eat, and there's still a few of the Munchkins that's still alive, or was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They bring them in there every year, once a year, because Dorothy had passed away.
Yep.
The original.
Judy.
Yeah, Judy.
Garland.
Was it Garland?
Yep.
Yeah, Garland. Yeah.
Judy Garland.
Okay. But yeah, they were red.
Yep.
And yeah, but anyway, it's 40 miles away. There's a museum. There's all kinds of neat little stuff you can go look at. All the memorabilia. But that's where the story was originally written.
And there's supposedly like a ton of symbolism even in that movie, and that was in
Yes, there
1979.
is.
Oh man, you can spend days analyzing that movie. Yeah.
And you're right, Benjamin. They said you're not in Kansas anymore. Yeah, he was in Hollywood. That was a key line in that show.
Yep. And I forget who brought it up. Maybe Chuck remembers. Maybe it was Monty who brought it up. Remember that movie 2012?
Yep, 2012. Yep,
And it shows that great big tidal wave heading to DC,
yep.
and you see what's on top of that tidal wave?
Can't remember. Okay.
Aircraft carrier USS JFK.
I've got that movie, uh, that DVD. I think I remember something about that.
We're talking about symbolism,
Uh-huh.
movies, and the creepy the the by potato.
That's like Jupiter Ascending. You'll watch that movie. I love the movie, but you look at the symbolism or just the meaning of the actual movie, and it goes right to the meaning of what the adrena we're now finding about
Yes?
meant. We're finding exactly why. Keeps you young, vibrant. The what do they call it, the fountain of youth.
Yep.
Same damn thing, and that's what that
Oh,
movie.
well, there's another one. Did the popular kids cartoon movie, Monsters Inc.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And they use the monsters to scare the kids so they can get and if you look at the tanks outside the door, they say that word right on them.
Yep. Chuck, did you ever find that, or did you just give up?
Find what?
That one where they're doing the flag on the moon, and
I don't think I have it anymore. I think it's stuck on my StreamYard. That's it.
oh, okay, okay,
Me look.
all right.
You know what
Yeah.
Chuck reminds me of? Sorry.
What's that like? What?
There's a guy, he started on Facebook, he's in Louisiana, started on Facebook, it's Zach Rushing. And the most popular one was my first all black cookout, the ones in the field. And he has a lot of friends, you know, from football and other things. You know, it's quite the moving story. But he's talking about, you know, you don't get up, they get you your plate. It's all stacked up with barbecue. And of course, he has to eat it because, you know, the grandmothers are there. And he passes out in the meat sweat, you know, and wakes up. He's in a space, all high stakes baking. You got to see the video. It's hilarious. It's not slanted in any way. It's just his enjoyment of his friends. But Chuck with his Chinese food, this guy passed out with the meat sweats and all that barbecue. It's hilarious. It really is.
I don't think Chuck's hilarious right now.
No, well, neither did this guy.
Chuck's probably still feeling the repercussions of oopsing at the buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel real great.
No, he didn't either. He got into his first stage game. They explained it to him. He says, how many books can you take? He says, 8. They said, which is the wrong thing to say on your first one? And all these switchblade cleaned out on the table.
Okay,
Yeah.
Red says fade to commercial in 3, 2, 1. I am hooked on Band-Aids because Band-Aids took on me.
We need Ed here to do a collagen commercial.
I know, that's what she was saying earlier. Booty boot. Breaker. So maybe it was I was stuck on Band-Aids because Band-Aids were stuck on me. Yeah, that's what it was.
Barry Manilow did a tremendous amount of those Those are the, whatever.
There we go. All right, here we go, guys. Here is your famous moon landing.
Ready?
Do what?
Ready?
Yeah. That looks more true than what I've seen, in the past. And they use the same type of camera. Like UFO videos that they always film. Looks like they're using a 1949 camera.
Yeah, the filmography in that was worse than the filmography in Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's been. Trust me, I can take better videos with my phone than NASA that spends $400 billion on a camera that goes on the side of a rocket can take. I'm sorry, strap a damn Android on the side of it and go. You'll have great video.
Oh, here's another question. Who keeps cleaning off the solar panels on the Mars rovers?
How do you know that the rovers are even on Mars? How do you know, Brenda?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, you don't, but like I said, who's cleaning off the solar panels because they were only supposed to work for 2 years?
I know.
R2D2.
Well, they left the maids up there because they didn't need them in the shuttle anymore.
You know what was another wild movie? Was that Interstellar. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yep. Victor, duh, Blackwatch. Chewbacca.
Oh my god. Did you see what conservative just put in?
Damn it. There we go. Yeah, I remember there was a big to do about that. Bonnie, what the heck is that?
Yeah, right, Finding Kino? No doubt.
Remember, Victor, only you can prevent duct tape stretch marks.
They wanted a commercial.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember that commercial for Fritos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kinda.
I love Fritos.
I do too. I like the small content.
I'm the Frito Bandito.
I could have done Oscar Mayer.
I wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener. Oh my God.
Barry did a lot of them. You're the pepper, we're a pepper, he's the pepper, she's the pepper, don't you want to be a pepper too?
No.
He also did Oscar Mayer Wieners. He wrote that.
Yeah, I had that discussion when I was on LWN with a fella that come from Travis's show, I think, one time. Something Rebel. Anyway, good guy. Had some good explanations, but they just didn't make any damn sense. But I mean, he was credible. That was his opinion, and I ain't going to break him for that. They just didn't make no damn sense. So.
Yeah, the AT&T building in Nashville before it got hit.
Yeah, that
sounds like a faucet dripping. Yeah.
Maybe it's just a bullfrog in the background. What you got, Chuck?
I was just weird. I unmute and the noise started.
I don't hear nothing on your end. It was doing it when you was muted.
I
Yeah, I hear it right now.
like a faint dripping noise or
Yeah.
a ticking noise.
See, and I unmute and it goes away.
Oh, there you go.
Well, quit muting, damn it.
That background noise, my fan running probably makes it stifle out. I don't know.
Well, if you muted, you know, we shouldn't be able to hear it. You're muted.
Yeah, it ain't me. I'm saying I'm thinking the white noise from my fan makes it cancel that out.
And it may be. It may be.
I went and checked the settings. Noise cancellation is on, mono is on, everything's on. And screen noise. I don't know.
That's what it was. Watch took us to the restroom.
Well, he's going to have to pull that bullfrog out of his butt.
I tried seeing it conservative. It won't let me look because I'm banned from Twatter.
Wolfman Jack.
And here's the thing: we're not conspiracy theorists. We're conspiracy therapists.
Right.
We'll break it down and tell you where it went wrong and what it is, and then 6, 8 months, a year later, well, truth comes up.
Exactly, Eric.
Conspiracy factualists.
Yes.
We were talking about that the other night. Were we talking about it here the other night, Shane?
We could have been, yeah.
About the hole in the Pentagon?
No, it wasn't here, but yes, I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
But it's all just my opinion.
A theory would be, I think the bucket over there leaking what's causing the floor to be wet. When it's a fact, when you walk over and look, yeah, the bucket's leaking and the floor is wet.
Yeah, I got lots of theories on that. There ain't no way the 747 could have dipped across them trees, never hit a one, and got level enough to go into that building straight.
And only make one straight hole through front to back and not leave any damage from wings or engines or anything else.
I know.
They say, well, you know, and you know, most of these planes are made out of aluminum, so you're going, oh, okay, you know, because I don't believe any aluminum tin can be thrown through a brick wall. I'm sorry. Just my theory. So, yeah, that looked like my honest opinion. Victor, quit teasing me. Anyway, it looked like more of a, almost like a drone flew into it. But it's going to have to
sure in hell wasn't a plane. There'd have been big enough pieces there they'd have semi trucks to carry out.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they basically just swept up the mess.
If you watch that, I'm sorry.
To be able for an airplane to hit the way it hit that Pentagon, you'd be able to dive off a 100-foot diving board into the water and thread a needle at the bottom of the pool as you went down. That's how accurate you'd have to be at flying to be able to hit the building without dragging across the ground.
Or the trees.
Anybody here watch Lee Will Barger?
Yes.
Yeah, I did when he was watching that the satellite supposedly coming down.
Well, he was at the Pentagon. He was in a cleanup crew.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in the military.
Yeah, I heard that the biggest thing they had to get out of there was the engine that appeared 3 hours after the stuff happened. Other than that, everything else could be carried away in 5-gallon buckets.
Was it a GE motor?
Yep.
Yep. Kind of figured.
Victor, if you watch that video, one of the witnesses said you could see the bombs going off floor by floor as it was going down.
Oh yeah.
Plain as day, he said it.
And that hole that was left is not the section where all the records were about the $2.3 trillion that was missing, that they were being grilled about in Congress the day before.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. You know where that money was being held?
Yes,
Yeah.
in Building 7.
Building 7. What do you think that was? Distraction.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Building 7, that's 2 blocks away, happened to just get weak at the knees and fall down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't hit by nothing.
It's like putting a vacuum cleaner on a beer can.
Yeah, it was a precision drop.
I think the person put an insurance policy on that building just a few weeks before 9/11.
And here's another interesting fact. Guess who was head of security of the Twin Towers?
Bush family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the Bush brothers.
boys.
One of the Bush brothers. Yeah. I think it was Marvin Bush.
Yep, and he was also over Tower 6 and 7.
Securicom. That was the name of the company. Securicom.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Security.
kind of odd how all that was nicely done, I should say.
It makes me wonder about Giuliani because he was mayor at that time and he was involved in getting rid of all of the debris.
Yeah. Yep. He got rid of it in a hurry.
Anybody that thinks Giuliani was innocent, I'm sorry. He might have did a good job, something, whatever, as a New York mayor. And he did do a lot of good for the city to clean it up, to get rid of the mafia. It's just so his mafia could be in charge. You know how mafia do it? Get rid of one so yours can do it. Kind of makes sense.
And only recovered 1/3 of the amount of steel that was in the records of how much was used to build all the buildings.
Yeah, and they tried to use the excuse all that flame fuel melted it down to molten lava. Well, then you've been picking up steel molten lava once it cooled as blocks. They did not.
Right.
There's things to make. That's where all that dust came from. It evaporated it.
Thermite.
The pieces of beams that they did find had 45-degree angle cuts on them.
Imagine that.
Plus, if you watch the collapse, you can see the detonations going off floor by floor.
And I'm sorry, where the planes hit on them 2 Twin Towers, my theory, my opinion, if a building gets hit that hard in the top, do you think it's going to drop to its knees or is it going to fall over? Huh.
Exactly.
That's right.
I mean, think about it. Doesn't make no damn sense.
And Mr. T came out right after that happened, and he said there's no possible way that could have been taken down like that.
No. How can you take down a full building with a fucking beer can? Yeah, it's a large beer can, and I'm sorry I said the F word, but how in the hell can you take down a full building that big, that strong, made out of steel and concrete with an aluminum can? It's impossible.
Well, there were explosions in that building. It came down just like an implosion of a building.
Bingo.
That's what created all that dust.
Bonnie, you were going to say something. I apologize. Go ahead, Bonnie.
I said, look at conservative cowboys. It makes sense.
Yes, that's where that so many billions was stashed, was under 7. They did the Twin Towers for everybody to focus on them. They got the money out of the 7, building 7, and then dropped it so no one had have recollection of what happened in there. That's my opinion.
And the records were all supposed to be in the section of that hole in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
I think that was another big distraction too.
And then there was the Pennsylvania one. How do you have
This
a
all
hole?
this,
How do you
this
have a
all
hole
ties
in
back. This all ties back all the way to the Muir building. And if anybody knew what was in that Muir building, they would understand.
I went by there that day, Shane.
Huh?
I was driving. I was on my way to the coast that day when that happened.
Who'd we lose?
Bye, Victor.
We lost somebody.
Good night, Victor.
No?
I think we lost John.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
John.
was this
Sorry, John. Pop back up here. If you lost comms or something. The Muir building was all based on a Arkansas deal.
Yes,
Okay,
records on them that they were keeping there.
there he is. Yeah. And it was moved to where?
Records on them that they were keeping there.
There you go. Yeah. And it was moved to where? John, I think you got your YouTube on still, bud.
I'm sorry. Turn it off.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I heard a little echo.
You talking about the days of our lives in Mena, Arkansas?
Yep.
I seen a meme last week, and the top part had HR standing there holding an AR, saying, "Who needs an AR?" And below it says, "Who has 51 of their associates die mysteriously?"
Any volunteers for next?
Antifa?
You know, the original guy that was set up to do the Muir building, I know who he associates with a lot. Very good friends with him. I know where he lives. He turned it down. They threw his ass in prison for 10 years. And McVeigh served with him. McVeigh volunteered to do the job because he seen what happened to his buddy. He didn't want to go to prison for some bullshit, chopped up crap. And McVeigh took it on. He drove the van in there. I only had a little bit of stuff in there, but not enough to take down that damn building. Because they said the first explosion was about halfway up. But right before all that happened, there was several moving vans unloading cases and cases and cases. Those file box cases of boxes out of there. And then the next thing you know, everything goes to hell in a handbag, and that's it.
And there was a certain group of people that were warned in advance not to go into work that day.
Yep, bingo.
Yeah,
Bingo.
certain higher ups called in sick or were off in meetings or
All the upper levels were empty.
Yeah, but those poor preschool kids weren't so lucky.
That was the lower class. Those are the kids that went to the lower class, yes. Or went to the lower areas. And yes, it is sad.
If all this is true, of all this, that was set up and everything, Bush had to be involved. He knew. There's no other way.
Bush has been involved ever since JFK was assassinated.
yeah, he was a show and tell at that school, and you remember the look on his face, like, oh, okay, that it happened.
Yeah, he turned around, went back to story time with the kids.
Yeah. Just look at the look on his face. It's kind of like, okay, you ordered me another coffee. Been on the boat ready.
Yeah. let me finish this story and I'll get right with you. Now, his daddy was always since JFK. He's been involved. He's
Say
been
what,
involved.
say what you will, they should have done Nixon in no matter how much, how many years, how many whatever. They should have opened it up.
Yeah, well, you'd think so.
Hi,
You know,
Bruce.
60 years later, we still don't know all the truth. I know one of the guys that was there as a backup shooter. That was Woody Harrelson's dad.
Yeah.
Harrelson.
You know what did it for me, Shane? I knew it. And Bonnie, we talked about that. When LBJ got off that Air Force One, the look on his face and a smile. He knew.
Yep.
He
Yeah,
knew it.
and he told Jackie to go change her clothes, and she said, "No, I want them to see what they did to my
Right.
husband."
Yep.
Right.
And you
I
know what
agree.
else was interesting? When they arrived in Dallas, she was given a red bouquet of roses.
Yeah, with a derringer in it.
Yeah,
Yep.
and when she sat down, or when they got in the car, she placed them on the seat in the limo. Well, when that same limo was seen at the Parkland Hospital, there was a bouquet of yellow roses on the seat,
Mm.
not red.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what you can also put into it, Brendan? Like I said before, exactly 2 weeks, exactly to the day, 2 weeks before, did the presentation of the Black Watch and what's the model. You know, you can read an awful lot into that.
Yeah.
No one provokes us with impunity. Is it, you know, they could read a lot into things, but is there anything there? Who knows?
And someone said that Bush was one of the umbrella men. They said
Yep.
there was several people around the plaza with umbrellas that were giving signals with the umbrellas. And they showed a video of him walking. One minute he had it in his hand, and the next minute it was gone.
Yeah. Why was Bush there?
He was part of the C_A,
He was part of what?
the three-letter agency with the C that ends in
Oh,
A.
okay. Gotcha.
And a fellow was doing a walk around in the plaza. I don't know if it was a couple months ago or last year. And he said on the side of the book depository, there's a sign that says Hertz, an advertising sign.
Mm.
Are you going to bed, Eric? Make sure you got all the cheese out of the blankets.
So many things that have been done in a dirty style.
Yeah. And done right in front of our face, but
Right.
nobody ever saw it.
Well, that's the way they like to do it. They like to do it right in front of your face and make pretend they had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
That's the trick. So we think the rocket's going to lift off today? I think they're shooting for 2:30 or 3:30.
I thought somebody said 10:39 or something this morning.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. We got a 50-50 chance. I'm going to say no.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Have we? Is this the largest rocket? Is this the largest rocket we've ever shot off?
It's second largest, yes.
Second largest?
Yes, supposedly. I'm going to. I'm fixing to here in about 5 minutes close the live stream. But if y'all want to hang out for a few minutes in the background, that's fine with me.
Cool. I find the height of that rocket very interesting because it's one of their symbolic numbers that they like to play with.
Okay.
It's 322 feet tall. Yeah,
322.
exactly.
Hmm.
Look at this whole space thing, the laboratory and everything. The end of it all, what we're going to know is how cucumbers grow in space in hydroponics. You really think of it. Pointless.
Well, does Chad have anything else really impressive they want to share with us? Or, I mean, I'm not trying to push anybody, but yeah, I know I need to start winding down and be to bed here
Oh,
shortly. And,
conservative put in what time they're aiming for.
Yeah.
Eastern time. Yeah.
Depends on where
Just want to make it a foot further north, they're out of here. Do what, Chuck?
it depends on where they launch from. I'm not sure where they're popping up, but here in Texas.
It's either Texas or Florida.
I thought somebody said it was going out of Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I don't pay attention to them guys anymore because they're all full of BS.
Yeah.
Well, it was great. It was great talking. It was great talking with you guys.
Well, John, don't be a stranger, man. Come back anytime.
Nice
All right.
talking to you, John.
Yeah, make sure and go over and find Chuck's channel and sub to it. Chuck's got a great person too.
All
He's a
right.
lot of fun.
Okay.
He's a lot of fun. He says some silly stuff. He gets some serious stuff, but yeah, he's kind of like mine. We just talk about whatever comes up. He's a lot of fun too. So is Bonnie's. If you ain't been to Bonnie's, you've got to go to Bonnie's.
Okay.
Bonnie's Bonnie's and Chuck's are two of my favorite stations.
And
Bonnie,
I give
Bonnie
you
and Chuck.
to John, but they're not as frequent as Shane's and Bonnie's and Chuck's. I
Do
mean,
what, John? What'd you say, John?
Okay, so you said Chuck's show and Bonnie's show, right?
Yeah, Chuck C and Bonnie's. It's BONNIE apostrophe S, just BONNIES.
I dropped me. I'm gonna put Bonnie's up. Hold on.
Yeah, you drop it in private?
I dropped it out there in Facebook. You want me to put it in private?
Yeah, because he can pull it up. Can you pull in private, or do you have to go out and the public can get it?
I have to leave. I have to leave the show. Yeah.
he has to get it from
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, you must be on your phone.
Yeah, I'm on my phone, right?
Okay, yeah. They'll be in the private chat. Now, he dropped Chuck's. Now
And here's me. There's mine, and I'm getting Bonnie.
Red Dawn. I like that conservative cowboy. Got a red dawn. It's Red Dawn.
Liftoff is in Florida.
Wow. Okay. Is that true that Trump's having a rally at the same
Tomorrow.
time?
Yeah, tomorrow in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Bobby
Wow.
Projects. I guess it's good to see you.
Did
Wow.
them pop up for you in private chat there, John?
He can't get them.
You can't get them from private
I,
check.
You
I
can't.
can't
All
see
right.
it. I can't see it. Yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
put
so
it
you have
out.
to put in regular. Go ahead and drop out real quick so you can go grab Chuck's and Monty's, because I'm fixing to shut down the chat and you may not be able to grab it for 24 hours. If
I'm
it,
putting Bonnie out too.
Okay. I got it. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Chuck.
You're welcome. There's Bonnie. I dropped it too.
All right.
yeah, if you can go grab Bonnie's, and then there that is. Then you don't have to leave. And like I say, but I'm going to shut down the live, guys. So everybody that's out there, thank you very much for showing up again. I appreciate all the support y'all give me and Chuck and Bonnie and everybody else. Y'all are just great people. So it's great to have you all. I don't know who's going on tomorrow or what time, but we will figure it out. Do what, Chuck?
Tell me, Brenda just dropped too. She dropped hers. I'm telling him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Brenda's on there. Okay.
Thank y'all. Good night.
Good night, everybody. It was
Good
fun.
night. Good night.
And here's a question,
Thanks,
Shane.
Joel.
Isn't it almost like they're putting it in our face with the Kennedy Arts Center and the Kennedy Space Center? It's almost like they're throwing it in your face that they did him in, and then they're using his name on all these places.
Guys, we'll let you know who's coming on tomorrow. So, damn it.
Okay, I expect something interesting to happen on that rocket launch if there's a Trump rally. That's
Good night,
very unusual.
Y'all have a blessed evening. Get you good sleep. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Okay, good night.